Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, depending on your time zone. You guys know the drill. Let's go ahead and switch screens so I can give you guys a proper hello with a wave and a smile and say that I'm so glad that you're able to join me on this Friday morning. If you're in my time zone, it's morning, but I'm happy that you're here on a Friday. I know it's a little unorthodox. I had to move this stream, I believe, twice. I initially had it scheduled for last weekend, and then I moved it to Wednesday thinking that would buy me enough time, when ultimately ended up having to push it one last time to today. But we are finally here. This is happening. We are going to play our solo adventure run, and I appreciate you being flexible and joining me on this new date. And I just want to say hello, Cam. I see you in the chat. Za, I saw your comment when you were asking about being rescheduled. Yes, confirmed. We are rescheduled, but it is now time. We are finally kicking this thing off. And as you can see, I have on screen the Stranded Alien Dawn startup screen so that we can begin new game. I did want to briefly mention what has caused my delay for me to constantly be moving this streaming date. For many of you, you may already know, especially if you're in my Discord, I live in Los Angeles, and it's kind of hard to miss what's happening right now in America and in Los Angeles particularly. I know that we're getting a lot of headlines in Los Angeles, but we are not alone as far as the current events are concerned. I know that many states out there and many different cities in different states are participating in these protests, these anti-ICE protests. And I also know it's not everyone. Not everyone is on board with protecting our First Amendment rights and with protecting our right to due process, which is the point of contention. And as somebody who has been out there twice this past week, protesting peacefully, protesting legally, I can tell you that the main crux of the issue that has actually stirred people to action has to do with that one thing: due process. We are seeing indiscriminate snatchings, like body snatchers out here who are hardly legitimate. They may be deputized under the current circumstances with a very questionable authority doing the deputizing in the first place. But that said, their actions, regardless of their authority, whether it is legitimate or not, are illegal. They are illegally snatching people. They are illegally raiding areas without warrants, raiding a private property without warrants. They are raiding public schools with small children in them, also, to my understanding, without warrants, because it is not warranted that they do that. And when they do end up walking away from these raids with people in custody, those people are then not afforded due process, which is an American right. It is an American right that you receive due process regardless of whether or not you are a citizen, because it is impossible to prove whether or not you are a citizen if you do not have due process. So for all of my watchers, all of my viewers, regardless of what side of the aisle you sit on, whether you're a Republican, whether you're a Democrat, whether you're an undecided, whether you're third party, it doesn't really matter where you're coming from politically. We all reap the benefit of the same rights. And I will get off my soapbox in just a second, but I do want to take this time, as brief as it may be, to speak the truth. I think it is important that everybody who does have a platform, even a small platform like mine, where I only have a little over 1,000 followers who enjoy the same video games that I do, I think it's important that we come together on this issue, that we identify the core component to this issue and stop giving in to these narratives out here that, oh, we're defending criminals, or, oh, we are out here because we just don't think that illegal immigration is an issue. It has been beaten into the ground that that is not at all what the protesters are protesting. They're not protesting immigration policy as it stands legally, and as is often pointed out by Republicans, Obama was very much an active president in the immigration space. He deported a ton of people, right? Like I've seen overwhelmingly this brought up by Republican citizens, by Republican neighbors, by Republican strangers online. It's constantly being brought up that Obama was really, really, really responsible for a lot of deportations. And they love to point that out as a gotcha. And I just want to illuminate the situation where that is not a gotcha. That is a manipulation of the truth, because the issue is not whether or not to deport people. It's, do we even know if these people need to be deported? Because we are not conducting due process. And that's the difference between what Trump is currently doing and what Obama did. Obama gave people due process. He made sure that we followed the legal system to the letter to protect individuals' rights and ensure that we have the right people when we're deporting them. And that is not what's currently taking place. We are seeing an uptick in quotas that need to be filled, and anybody who's ever been pulled over at the very end of the month for some bogus infraction knows that there are quotas that police and police states and policing authorities, armed forces, especially in this case because it's already been confirmed by the ICE agents themselves that they are receiving these orders to meet a quota. That it has nothing to do with whether or not you're guilty and everything to do with numbers. They're just trying to fill numbers, and that is what we are protesting. It is about our personal protections. It is about our personal rights. It is about our right to due process, to defend ourselves, and to make sure that if we aren't guilty of something, we have the opportunity to demonstrate that and to be protected from punishments that we do not deserve. Cam says, I feel sorry for Americans. Sounds scary. America's a big place, and so the answer to that I would say is yes and no. In some instances, it is scary, but it's not in the way that is being sensationalized. It's not like, oh, LA is burning. Everybody keeps saying that. Los Angeles is burning. It is not burning. I have felt safe enough to go out and join the protest 2 times this week. I have just left my home, with my ID on me, just in case I do get arrested. Like, I understand that that's a reality for a lot of people that are exercising the First Amendment rights. You might be aggressively mishandled, because we are seeing multiple instances of that live on people's live streams, where the police forces, for whatever reason, whether it's DHS police, whether it's the ICE agents themselves, or whether it's LAPD, whatever the case might be, they are responding less than appropriately in some cases to what is happening in America and in Los Angeles. And I'm not gonna just blanket statement accuse all of them of being wrong. I'm not gonna do that. I understand that each person is a person, and that we need to take that into consideration when dealing with people in general. That's kind of the point, right? Like, that's kind of the point of the protest. We're talking about people being rounded up and thrown into detention, and each one of those people is an individual. We cannot classify an entire race of people as criminals, as the MAGA movement wishes to do when they are talking about immigrants and just saying like, oh, well, if you are visibly identifiable as an immigrant because of racial profiling, we're not seeing the same heavy hand turn toward European or white immigrants, whether they're from the European countries or not. If you are white and you're an immigrant, you are almost flying under the radar with very few exceptions. And it is often the brown individuals, even citizens, brown citizens, who have been mistakenly rounded up based on nothing more than racial profiling. So that is what I'm cautioning against. Do not turn around and do to the police what they're doing to us, which is assuming that an affiliation makes you guilty. Like, you cannot just assume that all police are crooked police, right? Just like you can't assume that all brown immigrants are criminals. It's just not fair to the individual, and we need to be fair in our ethos if we want people to take it seriously. And so if we want the pro-ICE crowd to know us by our ethos and by our moral compasses and by the fairness that we're standing on, we need to also be fair to their side. And so that's why I'm cautioning against like just demonizing the police in general. I don't think that's a good idea. I understand the complaints against the police forces as they have developed through their own actions and track records to have kind of an ugly reputation for things that they have legitimately done and they should legitimately take account for. And if there were more accountability, if we weren't just so look at it like this is the way I look at it. If you would make a joke or a critique of, say, the Catholic Church because of their mishandling of pedophilia and how they cover up for and move around pedophiles within the church leadership, like they take and they protect and they cover up for and then they relocate offenders, sex offenders within the church. That is the same thing the police are doing within the police force. They are taking these violent offenders who are breaking their oaths and who are not following the laws and who are mishandling or abusing their power. And instead of rejecting or ejecting these bad cops, they are temporarily suspending them or giving them the opportunity to resign and then go, quietly enroll in another district, at another precinct, and continue being bad cops, completely free of any accountability. And that's why people don't take police. That's why they don't see that. I won't say they don't take them seriously, but they don't see them in a positive light. And that's like my advice. If any cop or a relative of a cop, I'm a relative of a cop, my brother's a sheriff. My advice is if you see this video and you're like, well, that might be true, but what do you want us to do about it? I want you to engage with the police in your life, or if you are a cop, engage with your precinct, with your chain of command, and discuss the need for accountability and for actually severing ties with these bad representatives in your community. Just like the church, if you don't want to be known for pedophilia, don't conceal pedophiles in your church. If you don't want to be known for crooked cop antics, do not conceal, cover for, and relocate crooked cops. And that's really all I want to say about that. It's kind of a side note on the whole protest situation that's happening in LA right now. And we can go over that, or we can go more into that as, time moves on, if that's something people want to have an open discussion about. Live streams are great for open discussions, but for right now, I think it's time that we get into this game and we try to experience a little bit of levity as we kick off our weekend with this Friday live stream. So to do that, we're going to need to start with a new game. So I'm going to go ahead and click new game now. And we will do the crash landing scenario because we're going classic here. We are doing a solo survival mode. So we're going to go classic with crash landing, and we're going to only have one character to do everything on their own. So we're going to do that. I think we can stick with Sobrius. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and we'll go with Sobrius. Again, more classic stuff. Sobrius was the original region. Sobrius was the original region in this game setting. I think Concordian's also the original. So we're going to keep all of this classic stuff up here. We're going to go with Crash Landing, Sobrius, Concordia. Game difficulty. One laser pistol if we go with medium mode. What if we go with hard mode? What does that give us? I didn't see it. Let's see what it says. One laser pistol. So, okay, hard mode is the one laser. So once we get into very hard, you lose your weapon. So I'm going to stick with just hard mode. I do want to at least have one weapon since we're crash landing and we're only going to have one person to do everything to defend themselves and feed themselves. So we'll do that. Film topic. Let's do a different seed name. Let's see. What can we come up with for a seed name? Let me take a quick drink of coffee because I really need it. It has been such an exhausting week. I do want to show you my cup. I think this cup is super cute. Can you guys see that? It's Snoopy. It's like Snoopy. It's a fall cup, an autumn cup. It's Snoopy with a pumpkin and some fall leaves coming down. I think it's really cute. I'm a big fan of this cup. And it was like one of two. There was another one, but it was like more of the other cup was less round and more just standard cup shaped. But it had the same like orange handle, then orange interior, and then like a Snoopy iconography on the actual body of the cup. But I don't have that one with me. All right, seed name. My goodness, what do we want here? Why don't we, out of, is diffidence the right word? Out of diffidence for the earlier topic that we opened with, let's go with love thy neighbor in all caps and see what we get. Game rules. Do we want any game rules? Well, we're not going to do random survivors. I thought that would be fun because then we would get like all of these extra like railgun snipers and stuff like that. But then the problem would be I wouldn't get just one survivor. It would like preload all 4. So we can't do that one. Run for your life. What's this? Survivors heal 25 health per hour. Gene therapy is a great thing. This is new. This must have come from one of the mods I downloaded. Because I haven't seen it before, I'm going to go ahead and just... Oh, it won't let me. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I was able to click it finally. Rescue pods? Alright, these are all new ones that I haven't tried yet because of the mods I downloaded last stream when we did our mod maxing part 2 video. We're going to definitely have to check these out because I didn't realize so many of the mods came with other game rules, so I do want to revisit this. We'll come back to that in a future stream and see what all of those new rules get us in another gameplay. So here's the hard part. Now we have to pick our one character, our one survivor to make or break this gameplay. And I honestly do not know who to go with. There's also just so many new characters that we downloaded with all those mods. I can see all these like AI art, which I'm not fond of. It almost makes me not want to use it. Like I don't want to play these characters when it's all like AI generated. But I don't know. I know not everybody who mods games is also an artist, and so they're between a rock and a hard place when trying to create icons for these. All right. Well, Ember's good at combat and construction, crafting and different. What is biology? That seems new. That must be another mod thing. So we'll go back to Ember. Oh, it's not letting me. Okay, we selected Ember. Let's scroll down. Lumbering, physical, and estimate. Okay, so this has broken out those physical type tasks into their own skill sets. Gotcha, gotcha. All right, I kind of like the idea of going with Ember. She increases her hit chance and critical chance when doing tactical or combat instructions. She does come with Construction 3 right off the bat. Her combat is already high. She has a higher healing, which she'll need because she's gonna have to heal herself. Intellect 4, not bad. Physical 4. Cooking is like zilch, but I'm sure she can get by with making a little like veggie soup if that's what it takes. She might not be like chef's kiss, but she'll survive. Farming, at least she's not farming indifferent, so we could build that farming skill from scratch and develop her. I think I want to go with Ember. I'm not gonna like spend an hour just like scrolling through all of these trying to find the perfect candidate. I think this is a pretty good candidate. So let's go with that and start. Yes, with only one survivor. That is the name of the game today, at least. So let's see where we end up. I think you can scroll out to go back. There's like a little lake up there. Pond. Maybe not lake, pond. And off to the side here. It's looking pretty good as far as like our crash landing spot. I mean, look at that. We're like right there, you know? It's right there. Can't complain about that. I do see grain cob like right off the bat. Do I have to research it? Probably. All right, so we're gonna observe some grain cob. That's gonna be step 1. while we look around and kind of figure out where are we. We've got plenty of stone, maybe it looks like equal parts stone and wood, and lots of open space. Oh, I haven't seen the Ulfin in a while. I've been playing in the jungle biome for so long. It's nice to kind of be back in Sobrius and to see the Ulfins. They're cute. Alright, so we've got this gorge. I could maybe try to build through here. I'm not sure how much of a defensive advantage it would give us though, because I've definitely seen like the scorpions and such crawl right down this, like scale the side of the cliffs here. So I'm not convinced that would really be to our benefit. Let's keep moving. Let's see what else we got up here. Man, this crash landing really demolished whatever this like rock formation was. We do have what seems like a pretty sufficient amount of resources right up here in this field. I think maybe what we want to do, I'm gonna just keep us close to the water. Like, that's my MO. That's what I always do. I always want to be, where the water is. So that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, let's build over here. We're gonna create ourselves a nice little like solo cabin over here by the water. So let's start with defense. We're gonna have to build. Right, we don't really have that much resources. Can we? And I don't know that I want to start with. Like, just being completely honest, I'm not sure I want to start with scrap metal fencing because I'm not entirely convinced that it's all that great at, and like really at keeping anything out. So I don't want to do that quite yet. I think what would be more beneficial would be making traps out of that scrap metal, if anything. But there's nothing stopping us from going ahead and setting up camp though. So let's go ahead and try that. We'll do one cot here. Our shelter, we can do a scrap metal shelter, that's fine. I think facing the water would be kind of cool, so we'll rotate this around so that it's actually, you actually can see the water from her sleeping cot, you know? And we need some stockpiles. My throat. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and drop in some stockpiles here, and then on the opposite wall I will build us some shelves. So let's do that. And then this should only maintain construction materials because those shelves will really hold everything else. Alright, let's take a look at our character's management tab, because I think if we really want to be smart about this, we need to give her some priorities. Alright, so we're gonna go away from simple priorities. Healing self should always be number one. If she has a need for healing, please do heal yourself. Like, I don't know if we'll get anybody joining camp, but we'll go ahead and bump healing others. And if it's not needed, it won't get activated, you know what I mean? Alright, so let's see. Construction, I'm going to make a number one. If there's something that I need build, I probably need to build ASAP, so we're going to make that tops. Repair can be number two. Ranching will be a one. If we have a ranching need, it'll come after construction. Planting, actually I think ranching is more like when you have livestock, so we'll make that two. Planting is what I meant for number one. Scavenging can be a 1. Mining can be a 2. Cooking can be a 2. Hacking, what is that, like cutting trees? I think that's cutting trees, we'll make that a 2. Oh, if I can. There we go, I had to click on the word itself. What is biology? That's what I want to know. These like specific breakouts, like how it's broken out so much more specific compared to other things, is it's definitely from one of my mods, and I have too many mods at this point from my mod maxing videos to actually remember which one came from which. But if we do go back to those videos, if that's something you're interested in, it should be revealed during the front end of those mod maxing videos, because before each video I actually go through my downloads and show you each mod, or almost each mod, if not each mod, that we use for that game. Alright, I think that this might be a fairly decent, oh, this needs to be number 1, observe, a fairly decent setup as far as priorities go. We're gonna leave that for now, and then if we notice that something's just not getting done fast enough, we can bump it and make it more of a priority. All right, I really do need her to do some mining, I know that for sure, but I'm gonna let her build these structures first, and then we're gonna get to mining some stone, because I really want to put a stone wall up. A stone wall is going to be way more effective than a scrap metal wall, and I can even double layer it, and then once I have that up, I could then lay traps to reinforce her defenses. I also need her to equip, hang on a minute, Ember really needs to equip that gun, so let's find that real quick. Okay, laser pistol, where you at? Is it like in the... I really want her... Maybe, I think I gotta go to clothing and then here, there we go. I can just do it that way and she'll go find it herself. Okay, so it's like over here. There we go. That is where it's at. Perfect. Okay, so she'll equip that because at least she... Wrong scenario. You have activated Project X modification but are not playing the scenario. We strongly advise the mod is played on Project X scenario. I don't know what I did to activate that, but I definitely meant to be playing Crash Landing. Maybe just by having the mod turned on, that's why I got that. I received that message. Alright, so... we have an insufficient number of scrap metal to actually finish building our structures, so we're gonna have to queue up some... oh, what do you call it? Some scavenging. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna queue up some scavenging. I'm gonna try not to like just like massively start queuing a million things, because her priority is mining, like is what she's on right now. That's the priority she's on right now. If I queued up hundreds of stones for her to mine, that is all she's gonna do until they're all mined, instead of moving on from priority to priority. So I only want to give her as much work as needs done in each area. So she's gonna run to the restroom. That way we're not, and now that she's actually mined some stone, I can queue up building that wall we talked about. And feel free to drop suggestions in the chat or anything that I might miss that's on screen that you see. You can definitely tell us about your solo survivor run if you've already tried a solo survivor run. All of that in the live chat. I do have it pulled up on my second monitor so that I'm able to keep an eye on what you guys are saying and interact with you directly in real time. So don't feel shy. Feel free to engage and have those conversations in the chat. All right, so we're gonna, I don't want to go like super duper wide, but I also don't want to be too frugal with it, because I know in the past I've made some really small enclosures and had to expand after the fact, which I still may need to do here, but I'm trying to be a little bit modest with this. I think we're gonna have to cut some sticks, some poles, in order to put like, to put some of that down. Is there? Nope, not seeing it here. Let me pull, I know that there are some. They're gonna be fallen trees. There we go. So we'll take out these two fallen we'll chop these two fallen trees, and that will give us hopefully enough timber to at least make a little bit more of a sturdier gate for our stone fence. Now that said, I think what I should do is go back into defense and look at these traps. We don't have the scrap metal for it yet, but that is why I queued up some more scavenging so that we could get the scrap metal that we need. So I am going to put this one here and here. And then we're gonna go around just like this. And the reason why I'm doing it that way is because I don't want them getting stuck on the trap, like right next to like that front line right here, this gap that I left. If I put the traps there and we catch, say the Scarabee looking monsters, right up against the fence, even if their legs are trapped, they'll still chew through the fence. And so that's not really keeping them from achieving their goal. That's why I'm gonna leave a little bit of a gap so I can hopefully keep them and their choppers away from my fence line. Okay. Have we researched what this is yet? Not yet. So I'm just gonna move our research closer to here, closer to what's gonna be our camp, and hopefully she will also, that's probably something I need to queue up in her management tab as well, is to be putting, like loading? Is loading, or is it considered delivering? I think it's considered delivering. Let's make delivering items a priority as well, because we really need her to put stuff away or it will go bad. We need it like to go under. How's she doing sleep-wise? Is she tired yet? She's not terribly tired. I'm gonna... Oh, she's already scavenging. This is working out great. She's doing what I want her to do when I want her to do it. So that's perfect. I am glad the priorities are actually working out the way that I want them to. Let's see. The other thing we really need right now is a campfire, and I can't do that yet because I don't have any sticks. Got it. So message received. Let's make sure that we have some sticks. I don't know that we would get them from this blade grass, but I'm gonna go ahead and queue that up to cut anyway. I think it'll prove useful in other ways, and then maybe these broadleaf bushes will cut for sticks. Let's try that. And actually, when it comes to scavenging, there's yeah, right here. There is a thing right next to, like, way closer to camp. So I'm going to turn the scavenge off of this real quick. And next time she goes out to scavenge, it'll come from here, the one that's much closer to where I'm going to have her living. All right. What might behoove me is to have her chop these sooner than later. So I'm going to queue that up right after she's done eating, that she'll go do that, so that I can then set up our entry point to our little humble abode. So I'm gonna have some coffee. I don't know if you guys are drinking coffee or tea, or if you're iced tea, because it's summer. Maybe you guys are having some iced tea, drinking cooler drinks instead of warmer drinks now. I'm like a hot cocoa person all year round. If I was not out of hot cocoa, I would probably be drinking hot cocoa right now, regardless of it being the summer months. I am always happy to have a nice, warm, comforting cup of cocoa, regardless of the seasons. Alright, so let's go ahead and speed this up. I'm gonna put it on 3 speed, because I just realized there's no reason to be playing this at 1 speed. And I think we can try a poll. Let's do it. Start a poll. Have you played a solo round of Stranded Alien Dawn? Oh, I'm having an issue here. Alright, there we go. Poll is in. Feel free to submit your answers. And I'm going to click back up to this game so that I can then see how we're progressing. And it looks like we're doing good. I'm glad that we 3-speeded this, because now we're starting to see some genuine progress, which is perfect. That's what we want. It is technically day 2 in game. I believe on average, the first attack, at least in hard mode, I might be wrong about this. Feel free to correct me if I am, and you know I am. But I believe day 3 is typically where they attack in hard mode. So she's getting this fence up and running just in time because we can expect danger as early as the next in-game day. She is technically armed. Oh, and she's locked in. Silly, silly woman. Let's go ahead and add that gate. Oops, hang on. That gate. We want a gate that I talked about earlier, and we'll put this right here. So we'll allow her to escape through that hole and put up a gate. And now she has access. Entrance and exit access. I would really like it if she would start putting stuff on these shelves. So let's go over here. A stranger approaches. Our solo round just stopped being a solo round. And I didn't like click big family in the rules or anything like that. I didn't click increase likelihood of having additional people join. So this just was unprompted. A stranger approaches. I fended on my own as best I could, but my rations ran out. I'm not quite sure what to do. You seem to know what you are doing. Mind if I can join you? I wonder, like, I've never said no before, but I guess to continue the solo challenge, I'm just gonna say no. We gotta turn them down in order to complete this mission as intended. It feels wrong. It feels wrong to do that, to say no to somebody who needs help, but it's a game. It's a game. It'll be fine. She's currently sleeping. Good for her. But I do want her bringing in like these rations and stuff. So let's start queuing up her bringing in everything that's out here that shouldn't be. Like, what else? Did she leave behind first aid kits? We definitely want those. So let's have her come by and collect that as well. We'll have her haul that. What else are we missing? So I got the rations, we got the first aid kits. It really seems like that's kind of it. I'm not really seeing anything else on here that she needs to collect and put away. We do need light. We do. We need light. We still don't have a campfire. Did I get some sticks yet? I did not. So I guess that's the next thing I need to queue up for her to do, is to cut these bushes so that we can have sticks, so that we can have fire. So that is basically her chore list for today, and it is day 3, so I'm expecting that this might be the first time she gets attacked. We have a wall, she has a gun, we do not have traps, because she has not scavenged enough of anything yet to get us traps. So I will queue up scavenging the spaceship. Wow, I did not realize that one was even closer. Okay. This is like way closer than even that one. So we're swapping out our queued scavenging point again for an even more conveniently located piece of metal. All right, she is currently on what task? Transporting the medical supplies. That's good. She is stressed out in eating her rations. How many does she have left? She's good, I think, for at least this first week, at least, with her 38 rations. They might last longer because she's the only person on base, like she's the only person here eating them, compared to like if you had to split 38 rations among 4 different people. But that is not the case. Currently seeing a 50-50 split on the poll on whether or not you have played your own solo game or solo mode challenge with your solo survivor. If you answered yes to that question, I want to know which survivor you chose to be your solo survivor. And if you remember, how far did they get? Did they last like a week, 2 months? Did you get through a whole year? And what survivor did you do that with? I don't know where she went. Looks like she's scavenging. Okay, so she should be right behind me. There she is. And she's fighting and bleeding? Why is she bleeding? What is this? What is happening here? Lightning strike chance? What does that mean? Manipulation is 60%. She's in good health though. Why? What did I miss? Did I miss something? Did she get struck by... It's not her that's bleeding, it's something else that was over here. I think. She's currently taking a walk. She still has no light. Let's fix that. She should have done... Oh my gosh. She still hasn't. How is this happening? What happened that she failed to cut this? Opportunity something old. People spotted a plant further into the distance. Might be worth looking into. Okay, so that's to do with expeditions. We're not going to take any of that into consideration right now. We are way more in a primitive state right now than could handle any expeditions. That's not in the cards, you know? Like, just not. She needs to go to bed now because she's about to get, like, that lightning strike. Okay. Did she finally... She did not get any sticks yet. What is happening? Could she just not reach these or something? I'm gonna unqueue these for cutting. Because for some reason she just won't cut them. So let's try this one. Let's cut that. And then these look like beef berries. We're gonna observe those. I would like her to do this part first though. So let's try that. Can we finally get some sticks? Alright, we did officially get some sticks. We had to like... I feel like we were like forced to micromanage, but it's fine. It is fine. She's already constructing her campfire, so that's good. Maybe we can queue up some recipes. Sure, we'll do this, since that's all she really has gathered. She hasn't even researched these little pumpkin spice things down here. The melons. She hasn't researched the sweet syrups, or I'm fully aware of the grids and stuff. Thank you. The research. They want me to do research. Okay, well, I think they're right though. As far as like keeping her from getting electrocuted, we kind of should be doing lightning rods. So let's do that and build a research desk. We are on day 4 and I haven't given her research desks. That's on me. I think I've just gotten a little bit too comfortable with not needing some things. Yeah, she can celebrate on her own. It says, like, we put together camp as fast as possible, but, like, who's we? Like, who's we, really? There we go. I'm gonna stick this here. And I'm going to make a copy of that. And then another copy of this. And we'll just make this 2 wide. So that'll be like her new home, and I'll put all of the like utilitarian things over here for now. Alright, so she's doing her celebrating surviving. We do have all of her traps up now, so that's a good benefit. Hopefully we can aggro any kind of attackers over to this wall so that they can trip on these traps. Ultimately, what would be best would be to extend these traps out so that they really do circumnavigate the entire camp, and then that just is what it is, you know? So this might take a while to build, but at the very least, I now know that we'll be able to... Sorry, I gotta turn down another person? It's like it really doesn't want you to have one player. It wants you to at least have, like, a more sizable roster of survivors. We're gonna turn them down. Hello, Mickey Ripper. Rita, 2 years, rescheduled. I think it was for one of the achievements. Rescued, not rescheduled, sorry. Rescued. Rita, 2 years, and you were rescued. I think you're right. I think there is an achievement for that. This is my first time trying it, though. So, hopefully I can also get that achievement. That would be pretty great. Rita, that's a good choice. I could see Rita being a really good option. Okay, I don't know where Ember is now. Oh, she's sleeping. she's gonna keep going about her business. I'm gonna keep her on 3 speed for a second here. I do want to... There we go. I was just checking that my screen was not messed up. My goodness, there we go. I want to make sure that I can basically read the chat is what I'm trying to say, because it was running off the screen is what I was saying. A swarm of flying insects are headed this way. Okay, here we go. This is our first aggression toward our solo survivor. They estimate that they could take 12 hours to reach us. This is new, like a scout report. I don't know where this came from, but I haven't seen it before. This is the first for me. I like the 12-hour heads up. That's pretty decent. We do have overhead shelter, and it looks like there are 4 of them total, which isn't too bad. She is armed, but I would like to keep her closer to camp under the circumstances. Let's ask her to come over here and observe this, because at least then she's like sticking close to camp where she's safest. And then when it's time to draft her, I can stick her under the roof where she will get shelter from them because they spit like acid or something. And hopefully she can shoot them because they will fly right over these defenses. These walls and traps are not going to stop the flying insects. Oh, that's what's bleeding. One of these birds out here is damaged. I don't think I had anything to do with that though. They must have been like fighting something else or fighting each other. I think the good thing about Rita, Mickey, is, if I'm remembering correctly, it's not just that she's a good cook, but when she does, she has like, I know that she's good at finding things on expeditions. Like she has an increased chance of finding stuff. And then I think there might be a benefit to her doing either research or, what's the other thing called? The thing that she's doing right now, observations. I could be wrong about that last part, but I'm confident in saying that she's a decent cook, and she's definitely capable of finding extra resources when doing expeditions. Okay, so we have discovered the buttermelon. I'm gonna queue up a few of these for harvest, but I don't want her doing them right away because we're currently under animal tag. So I'm gonna like stage her right under here. I might even stand her on her, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stand her on her cot because I expect this animal attack to come around this side where they can best reach her. Yeah, there they are, they're incoming. So we can see those making their way here. And if I put up the roof just so we can fully understand what's going on here. She's shooting right through the roof too, by the way. Like, physics do not matter. Right now, like this, it's just, it does not matter. We're gonna stick her over here. I'm gonna have her attack this. There we go. And undraft. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Maybe we can observe one of these. Sure, why not? I don't know what she's doing. And I don't know why she has to run over here to observe the flying insect, but you know, you do you, Ember, if that's what it takes. She is injured, okay. Well, then never mind. I kind of would rather she healed herself right now, so let's have her do that. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but with the beef berries, which are right here, this purple plant in the corner, there's always like this telltale where you can find them when you see these like butterflies flying around. That's sort of like a hint or a nod to where you might find beef berries. Also, I don't know if this guy is sleeping or if he is... Shelf life. Is he sleeping or is he dead? Is he... He's dead, so we can't observe him, but we can butcher. Okay. So we'll take advantage of that then. Once she's done healing herself, it looks like she took an injury to the foot, infection mild, but she's gonna go ahead and treat that. And then I'm gonna queue her up to go ahead and do this butchering here. I think the next thing we need to do might be, can we not salvage from there anymore? I guess not, so we need to queue up another local scrap metal so that we can salvage from it. Because we are not done building everything that we need to build here. We also probably do not have enough wood to actually finish completing this desk. So I'm gonna have to queue up a little bit more of that as well. She's doing all of this like manual labor, but what I really need her to be doing is researching some of these food items. Because that's going to... Yeah, we want to use those. That's nice. There's eggs here. We want to use them. That sounds great. Fallen trees. There we go. We're gonna definitely want to chop those fallen trees and get ourselves enough wood for some of these other essentials, like the research desk. And I think this actually is a good reminder, because I kind of forgot, in order to keep the fire lit, we do kind of need an ongoing supply of sticks. So I'm gonna just drop this over here in this corner. And then once it's built, once the chopping block is built, then I can queue up how many sticks we want to keep at any given time. But Ember's gonna sleep now. And resources are missing, so she can't even do that until we chop some more wood. So I will queue that up for her so that when she wakes up, that's kind of the first thing she does. That would be great. And then I think maybe researching this sweet syrup should be our next priority, because that they can eat directly. They don't even have to cook in order to take advantage of that. What we do have here is an opportunity to queue up another kind of food. We're going to queue up omelets, and then I think we butchered meat, but we can't make meat stew. Interesting. I thought we would be able to do that, but I guess not. The omelets was an interesting option, though. We can just go raid the nest and take the eggs from the Gujos. I wonder if they'll attack if we try. I guess we'll find out the first time she tries to cook. In fact, let's add that to our queue. Cook an omelet and see how that goes. I'm curious. I want to see how that goes down. Okay, so we do have 34 of the raw meat here. Maybe what we need is a drying rack. So let's look into that. Ranching, small drying rack. I think a small one would be sufficient for us. I'm gonna make it out of wood. I know we don't have enough wood yet for the desk, let alone a drying rack, but my reasoning being here that once we do get more scrap metal, we've got a whole bunch of traps still left to go to fully circumnavigate our little camp. So I'm trying to switch up materials for different resources so that I'm not constantly waiting for me to acquire enough of one material. Mickey, I apologize if I've been saying that wrong this whole time. Mickey says, you just reminded me, the flying swarms were awful solo. Rita is a jack of all trades. Yeah, Rita is boss. I kind of love Rita. So far, I'm not disappointed with the Ember, though. I think that she's coming through for me. I don't know how well that's going to work out for me when it comes to farming, because she's got zilch in farming. Particularly because we are going to need farming to stock up for winter, since I chose the Sabrius region. We'll see how it all plays out. But yeah, the flying ones are just such a nuisance, because you really cannot keep them out. They will fly over, no matter how tall the wall is that you build, they will fly over it. Styx, hello, welcome to the stream. Glad to see you here. Styx says, hello, GW. I have done all achievements a while ago now. Good luck with the solo one. Not that difficult, just take some time. Appreciate the good luck and all the info. I am really late to the party with this solo run, but I'm so glad to be doing it now. I have faith in my survivor that I picked, Ember. And I'm really hoping that this turns out to be a one and done. We just get through it and get that achievement for sure. So glad that you chose to join me on this one. Any advice that you have along the way, if you see something that strikes a memory from your solo run, feel free to drop it in the chat and to give any advice that you want to give. I will take it with humility, and I appreciate all the help and the advice from any of the other players in the chat. So always feel free to drop recommendations. I am 2 ears open to recommendations. I have to like re-queue up this grain. I'm so sure that I had asked her to research the grain. Like that was the first thing I had her do when she crash landed, but somehow we missed it or we didn't complete the research for the grain. I am not going to pull her off observing 2 plants though, just because that is something that she can harvest and eat raw. It has been like a lifesaver on past playthroughs, and so I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth if we have some sweet syrups like steps away from base camp. What I do need to do is start thinking about farming, because as we already mentioned, this challenge takes some time. We're gonna have to get her through probably at least 1 full rotation of the seasons, and to do that we're gonna need her to have enough food to survive winter. I'm also gonna need her to be able to replace her weapon when the gun breaks down, so that's something else I gotta kind of take into consideration. I gotta kind of have that in mind, be thinking ahead when that happens, so I just kind of want to be prepared for it. I'm going to stick this like opposite of the research desk, and that'll be my workbench. Okay. There are like a ton of resources to harvest right now though. Not everything is researched where she has the opportunity to harvest, but like I also don't want to harvest unless I'm prepared to start canning. Because I know that it'll just go bad and it will all have been a waste of time, a waste of resources if we're not able to preserve them. So I do kind of want that to be the next thing I research is canning. I'm trying to think, where would that be though? There's so many other things in here. We could also just do construction, because it helps to have a proper house as well in the middle of winter. If you want to survive the cold. So we're gonna add construction to that queue. And then we need to start looking at, like, really not seeing it here. There it is, pickling. What do I need in order to, I gotta find or produce vegetables before I can queue this up. Okay, so I think I'm gonna make that her next mission then, is gonna be to harvest these. Oh, we need to go back on 3 speed too. I didn't even realize that the attack had slowed us down to 1 speed. Now we should really be cooking, because I'm back to like fast forward mode, and we should get her knocking out tasks way quicker. Alright, that said, I still need her to build the research desk after we receive this, but I can then queue up. So once she gets done with this 2 plant, which she really almost is, I can see the line filling up for that research. She can then harvest the melons. Either like buttermelons, is that it? Yeah, buttermelon. She can harvest the buttermelon, which will allow us to queue up the canning, the preserving research. And then I'm gonna need her to build that desk. And I think to build that desk, we're gonna need her to chop this wood. So let's also add that to her queue. Alright, she's constructing some traps. I think that means that I am green light go to queue up this task, pickling. Requirement to find vegetables. We did that. Did she not harvest these? I thought she did. Well, maybe we gotta micromanage, you guys. We gotta sit here and physically watch her do it. Like the second time, it's like it doesn't happen if you don't see it happen. Like no witnesses. It's like that. What is that? What is the phrase? It's pics or it didn't happen, right? Like I definitely feel like sometimes we have to like actually viscerally witness it in order for it to actually go through, for the command to take root. Styx says 1 survival need a lot less resources than 4. That's true. A little goes a lot longer way. We do have this research desk up and running, so maybe what I can do at this point is just modify our management tab, go over to our activities, and then boost research, make observatu, scavenge can come down to a 2. Yeah, I think that that might be enough to kind of like give that priority. So let's see what happens, what she decides to do. She's constructing. Oh, right, and then we want sticks to keep our fire burning. So let's go ahead and set this up so that we always have, let's say, a bundle of 30 sticks at all times. That'll be our goal, our intention. Our intention will be to always have that. She's currently mining though. I would rather she was cutting so that we can keep constructing with wood the things we need to construct with wood. So we're gonna manually task her with that. Also, why is this just sitting out here? That makes no sense. We're gonna have her bring that in. Otherwise, so far so good. We still have just this front row, so if we do get attacked again, especially by ground aggressors, I'm gonna want to make sure we're aggroing them to this side. Ember's gonna research. I think there's nothing to refuel this with, okay? But I also think she doesn't have the means to build this, which means when I sent her over here to chop, because we weren't keeping an eye on her, it didn't count. No, it counts. She just didn't haul it in. Alright, let's have her haul wood. Maybe that'll change the situation a little bit. Just gonna haul that one, and I queued up 2 more, and we're just gonna sit here and wait and see if she comes back and cuts them. Because that was like the goal. That's what we want her to do. Stick says, I did the solo run by trading. Put down a lot of farms. Oh, you can do it on the trade mode? I just kind of assumed, I guess, without really thinking it through, that it needed to be in the crash landing scenario. But yeah, my favorite scenario is definitely trade scenario. I just feel like you have so much more, I don't know how to say it, like, you're just like so much more productive, you have more purpose, I think is what I'm looking for here. I think you're more purposeful, and that really, I don't know, makes me feel like I've achieved more. She's gonna sit here and research until goodness knows when. I wanted her to come out here and like collect the wood she left out. Wait, what is this? What do we have here that's all X'd out? Yes, we want to use these eggs. That would be great. We would love that. Alright, let's see. What else do we have that we have overlooked, that we haven't thought about yet? Like, we haven't really ventured too far out, so I'm sure there's plenty of things that we're not taking advantage of that we could be. So I do see over here we have something queued. It's cotton blossom. If we can see any that's closer to home base, then we'll queue that up to give it a chance. But I think right now, what I really want her to do is build this drying rack, and she's not doing that. So I need to come over here and figure out why she's not doing that. We have this wood here, and then she needs to like bring it in, I think, before it will acknowledge that we have the resources. Alright, let's turn around. We'll follow her. Follow her back to base. There we go. Now can she do it? No, still not enough resources? Crazy. How many resources does this take? Oh, it takes sticks. That's interesting. I didn't realize that. I just assumed it took logs. Alright, well she's gonna chop some sticks then. There we go. Alright, so that worked out. Let's have her refuel this fire. And then we're gonna have her cook an omelet, because I didn't see her do that last time, and I'm very curious. So she literally just raided their nest, took their eggs, without consequence. They didn't try to stop her at all because they weren't home. I don't know. The Kojus just let that happen. She's walked in and snatched their eggs like it was nothing. Interesting. I did not know that was an option. Alright, so what I'm gonna do then with this is I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna have raw foods. We're gonna take raw meat off of here so that she has to hang it. So that she, hello, Ember, store undesired items, and that should move that to the drawing rack. There we go. Starting to see a little bit more of like a sustainable camp here, which is nice. I'm gonna turn off the resource amounts. I just don't like seeing all those little numbers like clouding up the screen. But overall, it's looking pretty good. I still haven't put down any farms though, to 6 point. I haven't. I've barely even learned, like she's barely researched anything, but we do have a research desk and she is trying. She's about to get through construction basics, so next we'll have pickling. Once I have that, I'm gonna start harvesting everything because then we'll be able to actually like can it and save it so that it doesn't just go bad on the shelf. We'll be able to keep it longer. This should extend its shelf life. Let's see, after that we can try spaceship deconstruction, weaponsmithing, we need that. Oh, a hint, right, we haven't set up a daily schedule for her. Maybe we should. Let's try scheduling. What is this? Okay, I don't know why that's like that. We're gonna go to sleep. And from 10 o'clock to 6 a.m. she can sleep. That's an 8-hour sleeping schedule. Interesting that you can actually have her do certain things during the day. We'll have her do 2 hours of scavenging. Relax right before. Is that when you eat too? Yeah, dedicated hours for eating. So we're also going to do a 1 o'clock eating, and then we're going to do an 8 o'clock eating. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then let's do... Ooh, that was scary. Tell me she did not just get electrocuted. Let's have her sleep through the storm. Oh, the storm stopped, of course, right when I did that, Alright, lightning rods. Let's do it. Let's set up what we need. We're gonna put it right there. And we're gonna wake her up. Oh, we don't have the resources. Alright. Back to what we were doing a second ago with her schedule. So these 2 gray ones are scavenging. That should make sure that we do get scavenged goods that we need. And we do have some queued up, which is great. This is awfully convenient. I haven't even tried really to maximize yet this benefit, this scheduling benefit. What is this that's highlighted? A meat lure? I don't want a meat lure. Vents and stuff, fireplace is great. I think that comes from construction basics, but we're gonna come back to that. I still want to figure out the rest of this scheduling situation here. Work is dedicated hours for working hard, eating, relaxing, and sleeping are forbidden. Okay. Science dedicated for researching. Okay, we're gonna do that first thing in the morning. We'll do... Actually, let's do crafting first thing in the morning, right before breakfast, and then we'll do science 2 hours after that. Or just dedicated science, and then all the other working is gonna come after those hours. Building. We'll do 2 hours of building. I don't know. Let's see how that works out for us. Her dedicated schedule. Hopefully she will do all the things that we just said to. Hopefully that will get done. Like, actually get done. Another survivor! I'm so sorry, my guy. We're doing a solo run. This is the most in any game I've been asked to take on new characters. Like, I've been offered to grow my colony in any game I've played, and it's like the one where I have to keep saying no. I have to keep turning them down because we are doing a solo run. So the answer is no, you may not. Like, you may not come here. I still benefit from that guy showing up, I guess. Okay. I do have insufficient storage. I don't see how it thinks this rack has insufficient storage. About to run away. She's about to like lose her omelet though. Can she like come eat this? I don't know, let's see. Okay, that's a yes. She can come eat this. Alright, construction basics, got it. Insufficient material, I know. But I did just create some dedicated scavenging hours, so hopefully that schedule works and she will actually scavenge during those hours and get us continuously be replenishing our stockpile of material. Peter, hello! Good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Peter Smith says, I was hoping you were controlling me again. No, I don't have that kind of power. I am simply controlling NPCs in a game. Specifically just one today. Just Ember. She is our solo survivor for today's game. Farming is lit up. That means we've learned some new crops. We actually have a ton of this available to us, like right here. They are starting to like change though. I think of the season, we're gonna start harvesting all of these. I know that like we're at risk of going to waste. But also, like the other thing is like they're actually starting to like wilt or something. Like it looks like we're about to change the seasons and we're not gonna have anything to eat. So I'm gonna wanna start collecting these now, even if I can't can them yet. She is currently scavenging, so it looks like the schedule is working. And she is doing her dedicated scavenging hours, so we should be receiving even more scrap metal to build, or to do even more construction with these traps that we're trying to build. I really need her to prioritize this. That's something I would love for her to do, but we don't have the resources yet. I think she's building them in the order that I created the task, like the order that I put down the blueprint. So that's why the lightning rod's coming last on her list. Yeah, so we're starting to see the harvest being lost. We're starting to see, we're like really close to exiting spring and entering summer. So I think that we're going to start seeing some of these crops die. But not like fall die. So hopefully we still have plenty of time for harvest. Alright, so we're about to get hit with another swarm of insects. I wonder how big this one is. This time it's 6 instead of 4. But I still believe in Ember. I still think she can handle this. Peter says you do have that power. I promise you I do not. Peter says, I was trying some of the created characters the last few days. I've not come across Peter though. There are no Peters? That's kind of shocking because that's a pretty... I would say it's a pretty popular name, Peter, so I'm actually kind of shocked that none of the characters have any Peters yet. No, they do, right? Like, I feel like, I'm like almost positive that we've brought that up before on stream, haven't we? I don't know, maybe I'm just misremembering. Let me know if you're like being sarcastic and I'm just taking it too seriously. Alright, so these 6 aggressive animals are on their way, or at least they will be soon. It doesn't say attack yet, but she's doing research, so she's in a safe spot. She should be fine for the time being. We are still in 3 speed, so if I see that like click over to 1, I know that the attack is on. Also, production is lit up. That means we got our research done for this fermentation, which is amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and start lining up some barrels for us, because I really do just want to be fermenting a ton, like a ton. This needs to be our main production line, because it's what's going to keep her alive in winter. We need these resources. I also need to build a shelter that can keep her warm in winter. That's a thing that's got to happen. I'm going to have to like clear some of this if I want to continue building within these walls, not have to move outward if I want to stay building inward. Oh, that said, Ember, these guys are not deterred by traps, so please, you know, report to your battle station. Let's, you know, be smart about this and see, where are they? So they're almost there. They are there. They're here now. But she's able to fight back, which is good. So you can see that they're like missing, and it's saying that she's under cover. That's the way to stay safe from these things. She is taking some hits now, though. So let's move this direction. There we go. Is that all of them? I think we have like one more. Alright, let's undraft her and see if she needs help. She does, but she's on it. She's healing herself. She wasn't born yesterday. She knows what she's got to do. She's on it. She understands the situation. I think what I'm going to do here, honestly, I'm going to move this over. Okay. So when she's done healing herself, we'll move her sleeping cot. Because I do think I need to start thinking more long-term for winter. Abandoned building spot. Abandoned building... What? Abandoned building spotted. I'm sorry, what was that? How do I check that out? Where do I go to see what they're talking about? What the heck was that? Abandoned building spotted? Is that for real? I clicked the check that out, but nothing happened. What? Are we for real right now? Okay, I'm hitting the edge of the map. We've got some baddies over here. Really don't want to go near those guys. Alright, I don't know what that was, but it didn't turn out to be what... I don't know, I asked it to take me to it, but it didn't do it, so... I guess it is what it is. We're gonna try and deconstruct these, because I'm gonna need this center space to start building a structure that can keep her warm in winter. And I also want to, now that we have these, we're gonna start fermenting. Just forever. We want everything fermented. That's gonna be, like, that's the plan. We're just gonna ferment forever. Ferment forever. Okay, that's good. I might even, I don't know, pause the construction of 3 of these so that we can focus on some of the other things and not have too much redundancy while other tasks still need to be prioritized. I really need her to construct this lightning rod, and she's not doing it. Maybe if I deconstruct these 2 structures, she'll have enough scrap metal to do the lightning rod. Unless what the lightning rod needs is, no, it is scrap metal. That's good. At least we're still looking at the right resource. So let's get her through that and see if... Yeah, that'll do it. Alright, so next thing we need to do is move this outside. Like, here's fine. And the reason being because I need to move the shelves and stuff inside, under the cover of this structure. So these desks have got to come out. Once those are completely out, I can start moving this stuff in. We are at 3 speed. Hello, Mickey. You said, have you tamed the Shriekers before? I have not. I am pretty Shrieker averse, to be honest. Like, I will go out of my way to relocate if I, like, crash land, or even, like, in any other scenario, if I land in the midst of a handful of nests, I will, like, pack up all my things and move somewhere further down the map. I'm pretty Shrieker averse. I haven't even tamed the Gojus yet, although it is on my list of things I actually do want to try. I just keep doing these little challenges and scenarios where taming a Goju hasn't really been a priority. But it's something I would like to do. I think it would be fun. Have you tamed the Shriekers? Let me know if you have. I find that very interesting. I would be curious to know what that's like to have tamed the Shriekers. I haven't watched any videos either of it being done, so I genuinely have no idea how to successfully tame a Shrieker. Ember is idling. Interesting. I wonder why that is. Can she build this? Nope, she doesn't have the material. Oh, we don't have enough of that either. Thunderstorm. And she's soaking wet. Okay, I don't want to construct a research desk. I want to move it. Apparently I tried to make a copy instead of doing something smart like moving this. So we'll check. What is she doing? No. Alright, I'm gonna put her back to bed. Of course, every time I do that, every time I put her back to sleep, the storm stops. So that's perfect. Love that for us. I'm gonna copy this. And then we're gonna put these roofs down for a second. Hang on. Let's try copying this and see what that does. Perfect. Okay. Copy this. Okay. There we go. And then we're gonna have to deconstruct this, and then we're gonna have to deconstruct this. And I'm gonna need her to do both of those things. Okay, let's see her do that. Okay, perfect. I'm not sure where she's going. Scavenging. Oh, because it's her designated scavenging time. Okay. Well, I guess when she's done with that, she'll have more material to put the shelf together. Alright, so a stranger approaches once again, yet again, and we still have to say no. 6 says that you need chicken meat to tame the brood mother. Not that difficult, just need to be tactical and can be a little bit fiddly. Peter says you can create a crossbow, you shoot them with that stuns them or something, I think. Yeah, I think I did see that in the research. There is some kind of like stun or pacify. I think it's called pacify. Like a pacify bow and arrow. But yeah, I wouldn't even begin to know that their taming food is chicken meat. That's like, sometimes that's half the battle, just figuring out what resource you need to tame them. Alright, so she is back up, and apparently we don't have the material we need even yet to... we need a lot more scavenge material, I guess. So we're gonna prioritize that. I'm gonna manually assign her to do some scavenging in order for us to make this move, because if I can't move these shelves, I can't start building or constructing an interior space, and that's something we're gonna need as the seasons change. And we're gonna want it before winter gets here, not during, so... Let's have her come do that, and then I'm gonna actually start queuing up more mining. I think that's something we're gonna want more of, just some more stone for building. That's the material I think I'm gonna want to work with, so we're gonna start taking those into consideration. And there's like a lot more of it right here too. So we could be taking like all of this. What is this doing out here? Have we not? Where is it? It's like in here somewhere? Yeah. What the heck? No available storage. Okay, before we can haul that, she needs to finish building this extra storage ramp. Which she's not gonna do, because she keeps putting all of this stuff. I need to like turn all of this construction off so that she will come build these stupid okay. This is not going the way I planned. Scavenge spaceship debris, and we need to come get these what do you call it? The rations that are like hiding out in the trees here. Also, these trees or bushes, I'm gonna cut them because I can't even see what's going on over here in the crash site, and that's not great. We definitely want to know where our stuff is. I can't believe like we're on day 13 and these emergency rations are just rotting in the daylight. Haven't even pulled them in yet. Styx says this challenge is the meat printer. This challenge, the meat printer, is useful. And Mickey says any bird meat. You also need the pacifier. Gotcha. Yeah, I'll save that challenge for another day. I'm definitely not trying to double dip here. One thing at a time. We will try pacifying and taming a brood mother another day. It won't be today. Yeah, how are we doing, by the way, on this mission here? It looks like she's finally starting to... I'm not gonna let her sleep. I need these shelves constructed, like, now. And then I need her to come out here, wherever these emergency rations are. Okay, and I want her to bring them in. And I want to make sure we get all of them. Okay, I think that is all of them. So then hopefully at least now, hopefully all of the resources we landed with have been preserved or used at this point. Preserved or used. She's still trying to sleep. I will queue her up to deconstruct this when she wakes up, but I'll let her go ahead and finish sleeping. Can't be a total hater. Gotta let her have some rest. A little bit of R&R. Alright. So because I have prioritized a certain time of day for her to do activities like scavenging, where is that on this list? It's a 3, so it's already not high on the list. Salvaging is a 2. So I'm going to move salvaging back to a 3. Just because I know that that's something that she has designated hours for now, so I'm not going to make that a high priority on the rest of her like management tab. We do have other items though that I really want her to prioritize. And I guess she's fine doing what she's doing now. If we have any more construction sites that are canceled, we're gonna move them back to construct. So hopefully, yeah, they look like they're all turned on. That's good. Hopefully that's no longer going to be an issue. And we're actually able now, we have a clear space to build a tiny, tiny little cabin. I think what I want to do is a stone foundation, but I would like to build an actual log cabin out of wood. So, like, genuinely, it would be nice. Let's rotate these stairs. Yeah, I think that's good. We'll do that. Generally, it would be nice to actually make it look like a log cabin. You know, just to fit the aesthetic, you know. We just really want to sell the solo homesteading individual out here. Sorry, but you'll have to fend for yourself. Again, we're turning down more people. It's all in the name of the mission. It's all in the name of, like, trying to get the achievements. This is gonna be so cramped. I, like, really need to move. I'm gonna move this lightning rod. And I'm actually gonna wake her up to do it, because I really want us to make sure that we can still circumnavigate this space. And I'm gonna rotate this as well. I think, we need to move that around so that once we start building all of this, we can still fully circumvent this space. And we'll move these desks inside too, so that this becomes completely storage outside, and then the inside becomes an area that we can temperature control. That said, also, we need to add ourselves a fireplace so that we can fully temperature control this as intended. And I'm going to rotate this and put it... actually, we're just gonna put it like here on this back wall here. How do we want to build our log cabin? I do want windows, but I gotta figure out how this space is gonna be used before I understand where the windows would go. I think first and foremost, we're gonna need to understand where the bed goes. So let's go in here. Let's look at our beds. Why is this not clickable? What is happening? Okay, furniture, collections, beds, still not clickable. I guess because we haven't researched or discovered any cloth, we really need her to go out here and get the cloth blossom, I suppose. Or, what might be actually quicker is whoa, sorry, that caught me off guard. We've got berries out here. I didn't realize those bushes were berry bushes before so we're in summer now, so that's the kind of harvest we get, is these berries. I really think I need to, like, bring research down a notch. Actually, this can stay at 1. Because we have dedicated research on the schedule now, so we're gonna move those down and we're gonna increase. So planting is a 1, but where's the other part? Like ranching, is this harvesting? Harvesting is what I want. I'm gonna make harvesting a 1. Because we do need to start prioritizing that a little bit more. But that said, before we get into harvesting, I do need to observe at least 1 fabric bearing plant so that I can start building things like beds and furniture, things that she might need. So let's have her do that. And while she's researching that, let's go back in here and look at our very limited space and try to understand how we're going to turn this into a cabin. I think window-wise, let's do some tall windows. We'll do all 3 of these. We'll just make this whole wall here next to the door windows. How about that? That should let in plenty of light. Flooring wise, we might not have a lot of options for floors. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to stop that there. Like, let's go here. Okay. Oh, yikes. Okay, so that's a real threat. We have the Manti now coming after us. We have about 12 hours before that strikes. That's important to know. At least it's just 1 though. It's 1 and it's over here. And we have 12 hours. I think she'll head back to bed before that attack activates. So I think I can trust that she's gonna come back to base on her own. I'm gonna go back to housing and finish this floor before I forget. So we're just gonna, and I went with a wood parakeet because I'm still trying to like lean into this whole log cabin aesthetic. We'll see how this goes. We did discover Skinbark and she is on her way. She's scouting. I don't know what that means. Hopefully she's not scouting near our little, oh, she's sleeping. All right, we're good, we're good, we're good. Honey is good. I feel like we're probably not able, oh, maybe we are able to unlock bedding? Not yet, we have to actually acquire the material before we can build. So we have to actually have some of this in our stockpile. So what we'll do is we'll harvest some skin bark, but we won't do that until after this aggressive attack is over because I just want to be prepared. He's over here fighting an Ulfin. That poor Ulfin. It's a bad day to be an Ulfin. Yeah. So a stranger approaches. We're gonna have to say no. As much as we would love the help surviving this attack that is imminent, we're gonna say no to that. I'm not gonna have her going wherever she's going. Instead, what I think I'll do is maybe just bring her back to, oh gosh, I don't know. We haven't even used this wooden bench at all, by the way. We have crafting options and we haven't been using it. We could be using animal fats. I kind of want to be doing bandages, but that's not an option yet. And we don't have the option to craft any. Assign an owner? I don't know. Ember? I didn't know this was an option. Assign an owner. They're all gonna be her. She owns everything. She is the one-man band. Oh, Peter says, I love this game. I sometimes wish it generated more varied, different looking maps though. Oh, varied, different looking maps. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm so glad that they introduced the different biomes at least, because that helped out providing us with some variety. This Peter also says, I'm excited to see what they do with the game now that Paradox has bought it. I did not know that happened. That's news to me. I hope that they do continue to build on the game and expand it. I think that there's a lot of potential with this game. I've been streaming it for like 2 years now, and it still hasn't gotten old. It's definitely one of my most viewed videos are when I'm doing this game compared to any other game that I've attempted to showcase on this channel. I don't know, am I leaning in or out of the of the viewfinder? I don't know if I'm off screen or not. Yeah, varied. That's what I figured you meant. And then Styx says, Solo Advice 0, have a progression plan, and Solo Advice 2, collect stuff when needed, according to the plan. Yeah, I'm trying. My mind's a little scattered though. I think I keep getting... Well, she's close to home. She can observe this plant here, and I'll just keep an eye on when this flips to attack. The berry plant's close. Berry plant is close enough that I feel safe having her. Also, what? I thought I like queued all of these up. All right, hold up, because Ember is now under attack, so we're gonna move her inside, where she's hopefully going to be able to defend herself effectively from what's coming. Where is it, by the way? It is coming so slow. Should I just bring her to it? Like, what kind of shape is this in? It does not look well. And it doesn't, this doesn't look well. We're gonna queue that for butchering, but it almost doesn't seem worth it because it's too far away. We're gonna keep this going. I'm gonna put it on 2-speed because that's as fast as it will allow me to go while Ember waits for her challenger to arrive. I wonder if even putting her over here, can she shoot past the desk at the problem? We'll see. Buttermelons, we do have 120 just laying on the ground out here. We're gonna want her to bring those in. Queue up the rest for harvesting. I really want her to start. I wish there was like an option. You know how some of these you have the option to like put here first? I wish for these fermentation barrels the option to put here first like existed, so that we could just skip the shelf entirely and just put them over here. So she is already like firing on this thing. Ember is a combat specialist. She is going to make short work of this guy. I have no doubt about it. Also, the traps worked, so that's great. Yay for that. Trap stuck this dude. He's going nowhere. He's a fish in a barrel, and he's definitely just done so. I'm gonna have her observe the huge mantis, so we'll do that. And then, like, for these buttermelon, can she, like, haul those, please, and thank you? I think that's something that we should be doing, so we'll queue that up, too, and put this back on 3-speed. I don't know if my plan's a good one, but I'm trying. This is my first time doing a solo run, so I'm not really sure if I'm on point yet or not. I think as the seasons change, we'll see if I'm actually in, like, if I prioritized well enough to survive. I think there's always the option to hunt and eat meat during the winter if you're really like scarce on resources, but what I really got to worry about is her freezing to death in the winter, so building this this right here needs to kind of be a priority. And she's going to need way more resources, so she's out there mining. Oh no, wait, now she's having a meltdown. But she was going to be mining. She was trying to mine. It doesn't look like that really worked out for us. There's milk. You can use milk. Where is this milk that we can use? I mean, it looks like it's got the stinky stuff on it, like it's about to expire, but that's new. It must be from, like, the Ulfen herd here. But, like, they just have, like, containers of milk laying in the grass? Because that makes no sense. Alright, but we still are on 3 speeds. We're just waiting for this meltdown to end so she can get back to work. What I do notice is that we have a new leisure a manti. As much fun as it would be to start adding like statues and stuff, that's really not a priority. So we gotta like focus on some more priority items. She's gonna go to sleep. She's gonna go get some milk to eat. Oh my gosh. She's just gonna go chug some like stinky milk in the field. Alright, ma'am, you do you. Just don't get sick. I really, really, really want her to make this extra... No? Yeah, cut fallen tree. I want her to get us a little bit more timber, because I also really think we need to finish building... Crap, we don't have enough resources for those wood barrel. Alright, here's the thing. We actually need a lot more wood, and I don't want her having to travel so far to get it. So I think we're gonna... If I can keep finding fallen trees to chop up, we'll keep queuing those for as long as we can. But she's gonna need a lot more, just a lot more resources than this. So let's have her cut these fallen trees. because it's just, we have so many things that are not getting done because we don't have the material. So much that needs to be done at camp is not getting done because we don't have the material. And even as small as this little house is that I've put here, it's like, it's still gonna be super expensive material-wise. For one person to have to collect enough material to build even this small of a space is gonna be time-consuming. It's gonna be material heavy. So we're gonna have to... I did not mean to have her butcher that right now. That was like not a priority. I meant to queue it up as something she could get to eventually, but here we are. With a resource we don't need. Okay. But did we at least get enough wood to make the last barrel? We did. So let's go ahead and ferment indefinitely, and hopefully we can get her to start like doing this when she wakes up. We'll make that like priority number 1 so we can stop letting food go bad. Styx says RimWorld is pretty popular, where Stranded Alien Dawn have several similar game mechanics, so Stranded Alien can be worth evolving more for the current owners. I agree. I hesitate to get RimWorld, although I have watched playthroughs with it, and also I did a little tutorial test run with it on my husband's computer when he had it, but the graphics are a huge deterrent for me. I don't want to spend the money on such an expensive game with so many expansion packs when the visuals just aren't there. For me, that's just like, it kills it for me, but I've heard nothing but great things about it. And the fact that Stranded Alien Dawn exists that is similar enough in mechanics but has better visual appeal, that's why I just prefer to play this game. Yeah, 6 is, I don't like the graphics either. Yeah, it'd be nice if... I've seen people who can do reskinning the game, but that's still very limited based on the original parameters, right? Like, you're still working on these little pixel characters. I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. I'm sure it's a wonderful, wonderful, great game. But I would just like to see where this game goes, because it has the potential to be all that RimWorld is, or close, similar enough, with better visual delivery. Maybe for 20 years ago. Oh, the graphics were good for 20 years ago? Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, it is a product of its time, I'm sure. Ember is sick and vomiting. What did she eat that she shouldn't have? This might be a good time to start looking at her restrictions. She should maybe not be eating raw things unless it's sweet syrups, which she hasn't even harvested yet, so it's not even an option in her menu to look at. We gotta have her harvest it before we can even... Okay, so raw foods, now we have... I would prefer she cooked the goju eggs, so I'm going to take it off of raw foods as well. But she can eat the sweet syrups, that's good. She can have that raw. So that'll be the new rules as far as eating goes. Nope, my friend, you may not. She can eat on foot. I'm not going to... Auto-lock room sleeping? I don't know how that means anything right now. Oh, I guess it's to keep people out that might wake you up, that might come in your room when you're sleeping. That's a cool additional restriction that you can enable, but it's not going to matter in this gameplay. Maybe the next one. Alright, so we're starting to get enough wood to start building this, but we definitely need more. She is still mining when we seem to not really need more mining material, so I'm going to actually cancel orders for mining this stuff, because that's no longer a priority. We have enough stone to build what we had to build. Mining's no longer the best use of our time. So I'm gonna ask her to start chopping. Stop, chop, chop. We need her to chop, chop. Chop, chopping has become more important. Fallen tree, wow, just the one out there? Do we have any closer? No? We might be reaching the point where just cutting fallen trees isn't gonna cut it. I thought I saw... Maybe not. Let's go over here. There's so many things right now. Like, why are there scissor hands this close? There should not be. Like, I don't know what that was about. Did not like that. That was a terrible... Alright, I think... What I'm gonna do... Ember's idling. Ember could be cutting some trees. Let's have her do that. Cut these 2 trees. Fallen trees. We really need that. And then, yeah, let's have her observe these berries, because those could also be really good for resources. We never did research the rest of this grain pod, which is super obnoxious. A stranger approaches. Sorry, my guy. You're on, or girl. I'm sorry, individual who wants to join my camp. The door is closed. This person is on a solo adventure. Alright, Rimworld do not have the robots, says Styx. That's interesting. I kind of thought that they would at least have had one, what do you call them again? Like the add-ons, like you can buy expansions. I thought at least one expansion would have something like that. Peter says, I'm going to look a new game that came out today. It's called Altars. It looks quite good, but I always check reviews first. It has a bunker base building element, which I love. I love those too. And I love the War of Mine. I love this War of Mine. Okay, well, let us know. Like, leave a comment later to let us know what you ultimately decided, and if you played the game, what you think of it. Also, I love the Medieval Dynasty, but I wish it had more maps or map generators. Gotcha. Yeah, there is no, like, ultimately perfect game that has literally everything, but there are some that get close, and it just depends on your particular taste and play styles, what game is going to feel the closest to perfect for you. Or for me, and like we're each gonna have like our own preferences, right? But I figure a lot of you have similar taste to me that come to these streams regularly. You're probably into strategy games, you're probably into resource management games and base building games, because that's like what I play, and especially this game, Stranded Alien Dawn, is all those things. So it's like, and the replay value is top because every run is different. There's so many variables and so many different ways to play this and how to adjust your strategy that it's worth playing again and again. I do really need her to chop some wood because we are just hurting right now for timber. So I'm gonna just queue all of this up. We're gonna like start cutting trees. It just has to happen. Like, we really need enough timber to build this house, and it's just not happening. Also, I do think we need more stone, but we have over 300 mined stone already. We are fine with stone. I don't need to do any more mining, even to build like the stone fireplace. That is more than adequate to cover our fireplace needs. I do think I want to add just one little overhang here, just over the stairs, just a little one. And then that'll add a little character and personality to our home. So like when we build this, that's kind of what it'll look like. This roof is like super slanted to one side, but that's fine. I'm not gonna poo-poo it. It's gonna be fine. Heat wave. So we've officially hit a heat wave. She's also having a meltdown right now. Let's look at her stats. She has a heat tolerance of 122 degrees. We're currently at 74. I think she's going to be fine as far as the heat is concerned. But she is struggling with her happiness. Probably because I keep turning away every neighbor, every friendly neighbor that she could possibly have. I reject again and again and again. I'm sure she's extremely upset about that. Probably extremely lonely and wondering what is her life and why am I doing this to her. But that is the name of today's game. Styx says closest to robots from Wormworld might be the Biotech DLC. That sounds familiar. I think I looked at that one too. I have a whole bunch of them still on my wish list. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it, and I don't know that I will. It's just like sort of something I consider from time to time. But ultimately, I'm still happy with this game, and I don't feel the need to download the other one right now. Why is this like... That's a little weird that handling it didn't arm it, but that's okay. Alright, so she's going about her business doing construction as intended, which is great. We love to see it. So here we are harvesting. Perfect. I really hope that she's going to put them in the barrel and not like... Okay, so she's off to scavenge because that's that time of the day. She interrupted her task to go scavenge, but that's fine. At least we know she's getting a well-rounded exercise in different chores and tasks that need to be done sort of simultaneously. It keeps her productivity throughout the day a little more rounded than it might be if I let her just autopilot through her priorities. Peter Smith says the Medieval Dynasty looks amazing graphics if you like that. If it's similar to what we're looking at right now with Stranded, that's kind of like my... This is pretty ideal for me. It's got like a good balance of like the Sims kind of style graphics where the characters or the models, I guess, just feel a little bit more complex than some other games. Not that I'm not down with other cozy Sims. Like I love cozy Sims. Animal Crossing is really cute, and they're like really low poly characters and things like that. So there's a time and a place for everything. But certainly if it's like this, then that's kind of a little bit more my default, I would say. And then Peter also says, it is a bit like that, but the first person, but you walk around first person. Okay, gotcha. Interesting. Let's have her haul these in. She's gonna transport them, and then hopefully there's not enough resources to pickle. Okay. She's gonna go back in. I'm gonna have her finish observing this berry plant. And then while we're at it, did we learn what this was? Nope, not yet. I don't know why it unqueued itself for research. Oh, we can harvest these now? I guess she did figure them out? What are we looking at? Is that a yes or is that a no? It must be a yes because we can harvest them. She's doing some research. I don't know what she's researching because I don't know what I queued up for her. Weaponsmithing. That's what she's researching. We might survive. I actually just want to like get through harvesting and canning and all of that, and we can do more like of the weapons research and stuff like that in winter. It seems like, kind of a winter task, something we could do from the nice warm comfort of home, and not have to do... We're gonna move this inside as well. We're gonna create like a little workspace here. You know what? We can even move this inside. This is fine. We're just gonna stick her bed right here. I know it's not a bed, but we're gonna pretend for now. We're just gonna pretend, for her sake, that that's like a bed. And then we'll put down another stockpile here. She is out harvesting. Great. That's kind of what we want to see. And I'm just going to leave her to it while we figure out... So I don't have a table for her or anything like that. I'm not planning on putting a stove in here. I think just to meet her bare minimum requirements, we should have enough capability to cook on the fireplace that we shouldn't need. Also, no, I'm not going to do that. I was thinking about duplicating this to this side, but we're not going to because we're going to need all the wood that she's capable of chopping for us to finish building the actual interior structure. So maybe I won't try. I'm gonna wake her up. Come on, bring these in. Don't sleep on the job. Let's make sure we're hauling this stuff. I'm gonna have her do this too. I'm not gonna let her sleep. I'm just gonna keep her busy, and then we're gonna start cutting trees because it's a thing that just needs to get done. I don't think she's going to bring these in after she cuts them down, so I'm going to have to queue her up to actually transport these afterwards as well. I really don't see her, like... I could be wrong, but I really just don't think we're going to see her take this where it's supposed to go afterwards. And it is now daytime. I've kept her up all night. Styx says Alter's game seems interesting, except for the first-person view. Except it's not first-person view. It's third-person. Okay. The base is a big wheel thingy with rooms you build up. It's kind of XCOM base. I'll have to check out the trailer. This is the first time I'm hearing about it, so I'll have to look into it after stream. Peter says, I'm going to watch some reviews on it after this, and then depending on them, you might buy it today. Yeah, it sounds interesting. It's definitely something I'm going to want to look into. How do I find these sweet syrups that she's supposed to harvest? Right? Like... No. Stop asking. Nobody may come here. We've established this. Also, I don't think we need this anymore, so we're just not gonna keep that in the queue. And as far as these sticks go, I definitely feel like there are better things for us to be doing with her time than cutting these, so we're not gonna do that either. I do need her to like harvest the skin bark actually, so we're gonna do that. And then maybe we go back to chopping these. I'm like definitely like micromanaging her now, but I have very specific things like I want to get done, so I'm gonna just like focus on that right now and hopefully get those things done. She has reached farming 1, so whoa. What did I do? This to me is interesting, but it looks like it's just like you can't really actually check out the lost city that's found or something. It's like a wormhole situation, right? We lost harvest. Okay. Well, hopefully we are well equipped at this point, food-wise. We only have 50 pickled vegetables, but we do have I think a lot more coming. So it shouldn't be. Also, let's ferment. Okay, so I guess we can't do, unless I queue up the berries, right? Like, wasn't there also a way to retain the berries more long term? Maybe it's the winemaking. That's how you make their lives last longer. Well, okay. We'll do the winemaking, we'll do metal refinement, we'll do electricity. We will do tailoring, she's gonna need clothes at some point. Wood fortifications, basic sanitation. What is simple logistics? That's new to me. Storage items, proper, okay. Flamethrowers are always nice to have. And we'll leave it at that for now. That's a pretty decent sized queue, so we'll just leave it at that for now. I don't think, and we're gonna put the roof up. Yeah, we have like no roof right now. She's sleeping under an open sky, which is not what we want. We want her to keep, yeah, see, slept outside, and she's ravenously hungry. So hopefully she's smart enough to go eat. Yeah, she's gonna go do that. Good for her. We're gonna need a lot more. Where are the things with the... I thought for sure I selected... There they are, the buttermelons to harvest. There we go. Okay. So we're losing harvest left and right. It is becoming autumn. Very quickly, and we not only do not have the food supplies we need, we do not have the shelter that we need. Neither one of those tasks are completed yet. And we're getting meteor rain, so that's fun. That might be great for later when we can start building more, I would say luxury items, but right now we are not there. But I am super relieved to see that the roof is going up, so at least we are there as far as her having this log cabin, her being able to hopefully maintain a nice warm place to live and work during the winter. We do need lighting in here though. So let's do a little bit of a wall torch. We'll do a metal one because I would prefer that she not burn her house down with a wooden wall sconce. Yeah, this is a lot of wood on the inside too. Like this is very woody, like woody floor, woody walls, woody desk, woody wooden workbench that we can't even use yet because we haven't managed to craft like anything that we need. Or we don't have the resources to start crafting at all. We need her to research the cloth blossoms, which are like way over here. So when she's done resting, I'm gonna queue that up. That's gonna be her very first task of the day. Stranger approaches, tell them to kick rocks. And yeah, we're gonna continue about our merry little way. Guys, that is the plan, and we are growing dangerously close to winter, with very few reserves in as far as food's concerned. Very few food reserves, not nearly enough infrastructure set up to survive the winter. We don't even have the fireplace built yet, but we're getting closer. We're getting closer. I don't consider us in danger of her actually like dying from these shortages, but I do think she is cutting it close. But we're trying to get her where she's got to go. We are trying. And the reason why I'm going to take time out of her busy day to go research the cloth blossom is because I want her to have bandages. And we really need cloth blossoms to be able to make that a thing, to be able to make that an option. And we're like about to be attacked by the horned animal. We've got, is it a 12-hour warning? It's a 12-hour warning. So that's something we got to be ready for. And where is this? It's this direction. It's a lot closer to her home than she currently is, which is a little bit daunting, but hopefully we can get her back before then. So after she's done with that research, where do we want to put her? I think what we'll do is we'll bring her in to construct these wooden floors, and that way we have her queued up to come home to where she is safest before the strike begins. Peter Smith says, I have another game that is quite similar to this. I love it's maybe a bit more simplified, though there are goblins that attack if you get upset, but you can pay them off so that they don't. What's the name of the game? Let us know in the chat. Let us know what the name of the game is. Okay, so she's discovered Cloth Blossom, and now she's coming back to do her construction. I don't think that's going to be enough to keep her busy. She's going to like head out again, which we really... And see that old equipment? Her clothing is wearing down even. So not only do we need cloth for bandages, we're gonna need it for her to actually tailor some clothing for herself. So I kind of want to bring her back in here to construct this. She doesn't have the resources. All right. Repair the chopping block. I just want to keep her close to home. She's gonna keep trying to run out and do other things. This is not what we want. So we're gonna have her do this, and this, and hopefully that will keep her home in the meantime. While I didn't realize she was gonna have to actually go harvest in order to do the pickling. How close is this regressive area? Okay, it's a decent enough distance away that I feel like I could turn her around and run her home faster before it gets here. I've got my finger on the pulse, you know, like on the draft button. I'm hovering over the draft button and watching for the aggressive animal to switch to attack. Hold up. I don't know why she decided she's gonna run straight at that animal though. Like that's too much. All right, animal attack is underway. I'm going to go ahead and bring her under the cover of this shelter. But when this animal does get here, I'm gonna put it on 2-speed to, you know, try to get him here faster. Hopefully our traps will trap him like it did with the mantis, and then she should be able to just shoot from a safe distance. So we'll find out. I'm gonna have a drink of my coffee while we wait. I feel like we should be seeing it by now. Where is it? There he is. He's like doing like a slow approach. but I'm sure we're gonna see him like charge as he gets closer. He did go a direction I did not expect him to go, and he is still damaging the wall. He's got a little bit more reach than like the Scarabee do, so he's able to get caught in that second row of traps and still reach and slash at the walls. But it's working as intended. Like, the plan works. It's simple, but it works. He was trapped, and she got to do a fish in the barrel attack on him while he was stuck in the trap. So we're gonna just let her continue her assault on this aggressor, and once it's over, yeah, we'll undraft her. We'll observe the horned thingy-maboop, we'll butcher it, and then we'll allow her to go to sleep if that's what she wishes to do. Sometimes the simplest designs are the most effective. It all worked out to her benefit. So now we've discovered the Juno. Yay for us. We have now also gained the ability to build the Juno statue, which we're not going to do because our time is limited and we want to use our resources wisely. But also she did discover Cloth Blossom. It looks like we need farming 3 to plant it though, so we're a little ways off from being able to actually do that. Let's make sure we can harvest it. We can't plant it, but we can harvest it, so we can try that. We're gonna tell another stranger no. They just keep coming. But this is a solo ride. Solo ride. There's no room for anybody else in the car. She's on her own. Okay, we have insufficient materials, but not surprised by that. I'm gonna go ahead and build us a latrine back here. It just seems like the right thing to do, instead of leaving her hanging like that. Everyone deserves a little privacy and an opportunity to use the bathroom in peace, so we're gonna queue that up. I'm not gonna let her just sit here and research though, unfortunately for her. As much, because that's like something we can do when the weather is averse, right? We can do some research from inside. I would rather focus on some of these other things that we gotta do, so we're gonna do that. Also, I think when she's done with that, we'll have her come out here and do some of this. Yeah, her scavenging hours should be automated still, so I should still be seeing the scrap metals coming in. I don't know if that's been happening. Hopefully it has. So we're just gonna have to... No storage available. There's this. Oh, it must have gotten damaged. And she can't repair it because we don't have the resources. Okay. Oh, one step at a time. One step at a time. We'll get there. Polka Latte, hello! Good to see you. I'm glad you can make it. This is our solo run, and our solo survivor is Ember, so she's gonna have to be the whole band, the well-rounded, full-spectrum individual who's gonna have to do it all on her own. She's driving a unicycle. Essentially, yes. There's no room for passengers. Stand on the roof when attacked. I don't know if they can do that, can they? I'm not sure. He just says it's called Founder's Fortune. I was just looking through my games. Got it, got it. Thank you for dropping the title for that game. For anybody that was interested in the game that we were talking about earlier when I was reading those comments, that's the one you would be looking for, Founder's Fortune, if you want to check it out. I'll add it to my mental note to go back after stream and look at that one as well. Peter Smith says, Noble Fates also is quite similar, possibly better, but you've not played it yet. Got it. I love that you're getting all these game recommendations, to be honest, because I have not had time just lately and with life in general and being an adult and trying to do adult things and keep up with my challenges, my chores, my responsibilities, and my bills and everything else that everybody's got to do when you're an adult. I haven't had a lot of time to keep plugged in on what games are available and what their reviews are and how they're being received and all that. So I appreciate all the recommendations. You guys are great. Keep them coming. Animal migration, that doesn't really affect us right now. We do have insufficient storage. Oh, that's because we haven't repaired I really want to repair the drying rack. We need sticks. So we're going to have her chop some sticks, and then we'll repair the drying rack. Did she just tell me no? She's experiencing a meltdown. Okay. So she's going to, like, just eat. She's going to go on, like, a bender and eat everything. And then I'll have to ask her again to chop some sticks so that we can repair this, so that we can hang that. Yeah. Get through. And then we got to do some more pickling. What does our resources look like right now? We have 25 emergency rations. That's it for prepped meals. And then we have 100 pickled vegetables, 809 buttermelon, which will go bad if we don't keep fermenting them. 280 fruits, bush fruits, but we also, I don't know, like, did I allow her to eat those raw? I don't know. Let's take a look at her. Fruits, she is allowed to eat fruits raw. That is on her raw list, so she does have that option if she wants to just eat the berries as is. Okay, that's the only downside to, like, playing solo is if they're having a meltdown, there's literally nothing you can do about it. You just gotta let it happen. Can we please chop some sticks now? Like, is that too much to ask? Could you do that for me? Really, for you? Do that for you? And then come over here and repair this, Ember. Please. Yeah, repair this. Thank you. So that we can then, yeah, no. I wanted you to, no storage available. Okay, apparently it doesn't want that kind of storage. Alright, she's gonna go out there and harvest what she's gotta harvest. In the meantime, I'm going to queue her up to ferment all this stuff. Maybe put that away, that might be a good idea. And at some point she's gonna get around to building this fireplace that is in her queue. And I guess this other window is going to require she does a little more scavenging. That might be where all the scavenging has been going, by the way. I was like, why does it seem like she scavenges for 2 hours every day and then we have no, like, she's scavenging right now? I almost feel like we had to watch her. We had to do the micromanaging thing again to watch to make sure that the game is rendering the fruits of her labor and that we're going to walk away with some material. It's okay. It's okay. Stranger approaches again. We're gonna reject them again. They just can't take no for an answer. It's like, I'm gonna start this headcanon that it's the same person that gets told no and then, like, does a walk around the block and comes back and asks again and gets told no again and then does another, like, rotation. Because it's just happening too frequently. There's not that many people crash landing on this planet. It's the same person who keeps coming back and asking, like, if they can stay. Alright, man. Should I be asking her to construct what material we're missing for this fireplace? Sticks, of course we are. The stone is there, the sticks are not. We need sticks. How are we doing on timber? We have 59, which is not a lot, but she should at least be able to, like, cut us some more sticks so that we can get some stuff done. She's gonna eat first, though, and that's fair. That's fair. We gotta let the woman eat. How's she supposed to work all day long if she's not eating? All right. I will not pester her while she's observing this grain because as soon as she identifies it, we can start harvesting it, which I don't hate. I think we should. So we'll let her finish that, and then I'll send her to chop wood. It is another heat wave, but she does have such an incredibly high heat tolerance of 122 degrees. And a pretty extreme cold tolerance of 28 Fahrenheit, so that's not bad. I don't know how that will change when her clothing wears down. She might just have really good, like, insulation clothing that's protecting her under these extreme conditions, in which case... Oh look! Another Juno is planning to attack us. We've got a 12-hour warning. So, where's that? He's a fair distance, it seems like. I feel like we got, like, zapped pretty far to find this dude. I'm zooming out and I don't see camp. It's this way, okay. So, let's try that again. He's here. I turn around. There's camp, okay. So it's a mid-distance. It's a mid-distance from camp. I do kind of want to, like, construct these barrels now so we can get some more fermenting going on. It doesn't seem like 3 is enough to get this done as quickly as need be for the amount of harvest that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to copy Oops. We're gonna copy. I thought there was an oh, copy recipes. There it is. Paste recipe, paste recipe. And I can't do that until this one's built, but that's okay. She is scavenging. Did we get any scavenged metal last time? I think I got distracted by notifications. I want to see if we actually get scavenged material this time. We did. We got 23 of, what do you call them? The things that we need for this. The metal alloys. 23 metal alloys. So we should have enough now to build this window. And then we received 28 scrap metal. It's all over there though still. It's like she has to pick it up or it doesn't count. Where are these resources? Here they are. Okay. Alright. Yeah, I want her to bring this in. Oh, but she can't because she's in the middle of an attack. Brilliant. Okay, well, we'll move her back outside and we'll see where the attacker attacks from. They are so slow. They're so slow. I guess I shouldn't complain, right? Like, slow is not the worst thing when you're talking about somebody attacking you. You kind of... It's better than fast. It's better than too quick. Hello, Lee Kramer. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. Please join us as we try this solo survivor challenge. Lee says, howdy, Distracted Dust Dweller. Nice to actually catch you live. Cheek Link on Desertum has a nice flat area for big build and Sweet Pond. That sounds good. I'm going to write that down. I think I have some paper here. Like a little scrap paper. Yes, I do. So let's write that one down while she handles her business. Aren't we under attack? Where did it go? It is still trying to get there, and we're on 2 speed right now. Alright, so... Cheek... Dash Link... Desertum. Got it. We're gonna zoom in now that we can see what's going on here. Literally, she didn't need my help at all. She's got this. She's handling business. She has everything under control. I was perfectly fine just taking notes and doing my business while she does hers. It's a done deal, babe. Just like that, that's how you do it. And then she's gonna come finish the job. By the way, did we finally cut some sticks? Like, why are we not able... Not enough resources, okay. Do we have the resources to finish this at least? I feel like we should. And then maybe we'd have the space to store more stuff. There is so many things happening over here. I'm gonna start... We have 2 damaged structures. She'll repair those at some point. I would like to try to queue up harvesting some of this grain cob. While it's still possible. Grain cob has such a short window for harvest in this game. When it's like ready, you gotta get on it or it will go bad quickly. Also, why can't I... Okay, it's in here somewhere. There it is. We're gonna haul that in. Hopefully that works this time. Insufficient storage space. Are we serious right now? Well, no, it shouldn't be. Really? Okay. What about store here first? Okay. Like, why isn't she... I don't understand why she doesn't haul this to where it goes. That to me seems really weird. I'm very perplexed by why we can't, like... why I can't, like, store the meats. And I have a drying rack. I don't really understand why I can't use it. Okay, well, let's go ahead and put it back on 3-speed. First and foremost, let's not waste time. Let's make sure that she is on the clock doing her business, and she is. So she's gonna go construct this window. Or she'll just sleep, I don't know. She's extremely tired. I guess I'll allow it. She can sleep. Night is falling, so it's probably her scheduled sleep, like, bedtime anyway. I really do want to get more of this green cob, more of this cloth blossom as well. Hopefully we're going to see a lot more harvesting going on over here during her, like, daytime, during her day hours. What else? We do have more cloth blossom out this way. I'm going to just go ahead and queue that. Queue this. Because we're going to have to make clothes probably in winter when they're needed most, because that's when what she's wearing will wear out on us. I just want to have the resources when it's time. Insufficient fuel. Totally aware of this. Thank you, but we know. We're having a major issue with keeping enough wooden sticks on hand. Look at the trees, you guys! Autumn is fully in swing. We are really approaching that, like, dead season. Pocolote says a paving bug, maybe move it around. Oh, it could be, yeah. Okay, let me try that. Let me try moving. Let's move. We'll just stick it outside for now. Let's try moving that and see if maybe you're right. Maybe that'll help it reset. Styx says, hi, these dune times, in these dune times, try desertum and the seed dune. Oh, okay. Like, spelled that way? Like capital D, capital U, lowercase n, lowercase e? So we'll try D, U, N, E. And that one's desertum as well. Alright, cool. I've got the notes. I'm keeping them on hand. I'll definitely hold on to those. I love checking out new seeds. It's some of my favorite videos, and some of your guys' favorite videos are the seeds videos, according to, you know, my analytics. So I'm always happy to check out more seeds, and especially ones that are recommended by other players who have already, like, explored them and picked their favorites. Alright, so she's researching. I think what I have on the research block is, well, it was weaponsmithing, which should have enabled us to craft something besides bandages, which I actually do want. I think we should always have at least 10 bandages. And then weapons wise, a spear I wouldn't hate a spear. We should always have one spear. And let's try at least one bow. And then if we can't make that because we don't have cloth, we could try a crossbow. So there we have options for our weaponry. We have bandages, which I will put at the top. So I think that should be first in the queue is bandages. Yeah. Alright, cool. Good for us. Sounds good. She is at risk of a meltdown. I would like her to not disarm, I would like her to handle trap. I don't know why would I want these disarmed and then handle these 2 traps. I would really prefer... we still can't haul these. Like, I don't know why. Does it say keep empty? I don't want people to keep this empty. Yeah, still can't haul them, so let's move this back inside. I might need to like delete it and reconstruct a new one or something. I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure what's happening here, but it doesn't look good. It's not working out to our benefit at the very least. I'm gonna move this to the other side. Tell this person no, because they circled the block again and came back wanting to do whatever. That's going to be a hard pass. And then once I move this over here, that might open up this space to try putting some storage in here, which I think we're going to need more internal storage. Let's look at storage and see what our options are here for a second. We do have wall shelving, which is an option, so we could put some shelves over top of these workbenches. I don't know if we could access them, if they're not going to be reachable or not. We'll see if they'll even build them with the benches under them. And then use some scrap metal to try and build some shelves over here. It looks like I can't use this corner space. I can't help that. It is what it is. So we'll just make the most of what we can here with what we have inside. For the time being, I might tear down these shelves eventually once we have electricity and a whole grid up that can actually power refrigeration. Then we might try and replace this with some refrigeration. But for the time being, this is kind of what we have going on. So that's what we're going to do. And she's going to keep trucking along at the speed that she's trucking. We'll have her move this and then store those. Ferment, ferment, ferment. And then she can choose her next task when she's done with those 3, which it looks like is researching. She'd rather go research right now, so let her do that. Harvest-wise, I think, have we harvested any of the grain yet? I think if we do, then I'll be able to start queuing up some things, like, with the grain, as far as cooking-wise, or, like, I should be able to queue up quick recipes, like grain porridge now. Try and always have, like, 2 ready. I don't know where she is, but she needs to be here. There we go, she's home. Constructing the latrine, that's fine, because that's inside the safety of this very large circle. Thank goodness for improved lightning rods. They cover a much greater space. And yeah, it looks like we are able to construct these shelves. So then let's try and decide what we want on these shelves. We don't want raw food on the shelf. We don't want cooked food on the shelf. I think what I want on the shelf is going to be like crafting materials maybe, and medications, tools, weapons, apparel, that's fine. I'm going to copy these restrictions and then paste them onto the other one. Okay. And then I guess I'll just allow for anything in here. No. We're going to tell the guy no again. Still no. The answer is still no. My goodness. Alright. Let's try something here. I'm going to move this to here. I can't move it to here. Okay. We're going to move it to here. Just to get this out of the way. I am going to deconstruct this. And we're going to build ourselves... Sorry, ma'am. I'm going to move you. Because I need access to this now. We're going to build ourselves a bigger... what do you call it? Drying rack. Because I think that's like... Oh, I don't know if I have the space for it over here. I thought I would. Maybe I don't. Okay. Maybe I'll have the space for it up front. Once we move or deconstruct this, we may have the space for it here. Let's try. I'm waking her up. I'm interrupting her sleep again. She's not happy, but I don't blame her. It's no wonder she's not happy, but it is what it is, right? Like, sometimes that's just what it is. Oh, she's having a meltdown, but at least she's just doing a hiding meltdown. That's fine. Let's get back to the point. The point was, we did all of that. We woke her up twice just so that we could build this storage rack. This drying rack, sorry. Not storage rack, drying rack. Why does it keep clicking the trap? I don't want the trap. I want the large drying... My gosh. Let's back out. Go back to ranching. Large drying rack, wooden. Thank you. My goodness, they made that extra difficult. And then we can place it. Alright, so there's still like an aisle here for them to get through to that. But the downside is, to get to these barrels, you literally have to go all the way around the house, this way, and come through the storage shed to get to these barrels. But it's not worth it to like tear down and expand these walls right now to just avoid circumnavigating the little like hut. So she's not even doing that either. She's just like straight. We have our first snow. We have our first snow. And she's just straight up just like descending the edge of the stair. She's just jumping off. Yes to the spelling, says Sticks. Got it. I wrote it down exactly how you spelled it. And then also lake. Yeah, I always try, if I see a little lake or pond or something, that's where you can bet I'm gonna build. I always want to be next to the water. For my headcanon, so that they have a water source, and also just because I appreciate the aesthetics of living on the water, and that's where I would want to be if I were them, so that's where I put them. It is taking a really long time, by the way, for this Juno meat to get eaten up by the scavengers. I really thought by now that would be like long gone. So she's out harvesting these berries, good for her. We should have the ability now to ferment. I guess not. I thought the winemaking would be done in these barrels as well. Maybe we haven't finished researching winemaking. We haven't. We haven't finished researching winemaking. That's fine. We are still in 3 speed, so wherever she is, she's doing her daily scavenging, which is good. Hopefully she comes back with a lot of material for us. That would be great. And we did see... I'm gonna have her cut these 3 trees when she's done scavenging. Which, it looks like she got a weapon from scavenging, but I also probably have to pick it up. Because she's really bad about, like, hauling stuff in after she scavenges it. So we're gonna haul that. Then we're gonna look at everything else she's not hauling. Okay. I don't know what all this other stuff is. It looks like it might be... I hope she's alright. She's our only survivor. She kind of needs to continue surviving. Okay, it's just manure, so we don't gotta worry about any of that. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, so she's gonna go haul that in, as she should, instead of just leaving everything out to, like, rot in the elements. And yeah, we're gonna prepare for winter. We need a lot more sticks. Like, that needs to be a much higher priority right now. The chopping, because she's just not prepared for winter. We don't even have enough sticks to like light the fire. So, can build a half-height block by the stairs as a step. That'd be cool. I think I need to figure out what we're gonna do about the fact that there's no sticks, though. Like, your girl does not want to prepare herself appropriately for this situation, and it shows. So we're gonna bring her out here and forcibly have her cut down some trees. And then hopefully build some things that need built. Like, yeah, resources unavailable, okay. And then she's gonna have to chop some sticks because we need those. A lot more of those than what we're getting. Is there a way to make chopping a priority? Like, does that have hacking? I don't know, make it a 1? We need hacking for, like, cutting trees and stuff. Let's boost that as a priority. Cutting. Maybe if we make that a 1. Let's see if that improves our turnout at all with, like, the shortage of wood and sticks. Hopefully that's what we need. And hopefully that's gonna be a game changer for us at this, like, late autumn turning point. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. So we'll see. We are still in 3 speed, and she is off to the races already, scavenging at 2100 hours on day 32. This is a pretty big tree. I feel like we could cut this one and help us again. We're gonna tell the person no. We're gonna keep showing up. We're gonna keep saying no. And she's gonna go back to sleep on her cot. It's not the most comfortable place to sleep, but it's what she has. I don't know that we're able to build a bed yet. It looks like we are, so we can finally build a bed if I move her cot. I don't want to wake her up though and make her angry again. She might like have another meltdown. Let's wait till she wakes up on her own. I'll move it to make room to place a bed there. Oh look, she brought in, interesting, Juno's heart, blood. Geez, there's like individual ingredients here. Lung. Oh, I didn't realize it was that specific before. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see what she does now. She woke up on her own. Good. We're gonna move this. Beautiful. I'm gonna ask her to move that, and then I'm going to queue us up a bed. Let's make it out of stone because we have so much of it. Alright, so here's the problem. Unlike the cot, I can't tuck this in the corner. Which is gonna be problematic. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to bump this over another direction. Or I guess what we could really do here is rotate this, is what I think we're gonna do. Alright, so we're gonna disable, we're just gonna get rid of this entirely. And I'm gonna have her come do that right now. I'm gonna rotate this, and then we're going to reject this person. And from here, then we will build ourselves a bed. So let's go ahead and rotate this workbench. I think we're getting this obstructed access situation here. Okay, hang on. Let's move this to this wall. There we go. That's not an issue, that's not an issue, that's not an issue, that's not an issue. I mean, the bed thing is an issue, but I'm trying to fix that issue, so we'll see. And I think this, honestly, is a bigger part of the problem with me being able to rotate this. Yeah, it's not gonna let me do it. Alright, we're gonna, I don't know, just delete this shelf. Well, we do that. That'll help us out with this limited space. It is a little bit like Tetris in here, because it is a very small cabin. So if I'm not able... Really, please move the scrap metal. Is that really gonna stop us from being able to rotate this bench right now? Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright, maybe the camping cot really just is... At least I can try to make it a little bit nicer. Instead of a straw cot, she can have like this. That's what we'll do. She can have a bedroll. This is the only thing that I can place over here that's not gonna like reject me putting it there, so that's what we're doing. Alright, what I do want to do, like I really want her to chop. Store undesired items. What undesired items are here? Okay. Look at that! We have a fire now. Okay, so we can queue up some recipes. We have ourselves green porridge. Really, that's kind of the only thing I can queue besides the omelet. We'll queue up an omelet here. And now I can remove this entirely. We don't need this campfire out here. Because this is essentially the same thing inside. What temperature is inside, by the way? It's 61 degrees indoors, 30 degrees outdoors. So it is starting to get dangerously cold for her. Because her cold tolerance is 22 degrees. So with it already being 32 degrees Fahrenheit outside and her limit being 22, and we're still seeing fall colors on the trees. We're not even seeing winter yet. We're not seeing snow yet. We had a brief, little flurry of snow that came and went very quickly. I don't know that there's going to be too much time left over to be doing stuff outside. She's going to have to relegate herself to indoor tasks pretty soon. Okay. We're going to mark a lot of these for harvest if we still can. Like whatever we can still harvest, we'll try to harvest. And we'll reject this person one more time. I feel bad. Because if it was real and it was getting cold and we kept kicking this person out, kept rejecting them, that's a pretty terrible thing to do to a person. We can't take it seriously. It's all part of this game and this challenge, this game mode. We can't look at it like that. We can't take it that seriously. I do need her to like haul this in and stop being wasteful. That'd be great. So we'll have her do that. What is she doing currently? Scavenging. Okay. Okay. Alright, so she is repairing the barrel. Good, good, good. And then we're gonna have to ask her to harvest these when she wakes up, I guess, because she just went to bed. Cool, we lost 70 cloth blossoms to our ability to harvest. That's terrific. Alright, let's like think about this though for a second, because I don't think I have a tailoring bench to do like proper tailoring. We're gonna need that. And I really just don't even know, like we haven't even researched it yet. It should be in our research queue. It needs to come up closer, like sooner in the research queue. So let's do tailoring bench next, metal refinement. Antibiotic production, that's important. Maybe we bump that. And then metal refinement. I can't believe I forgot that. She's gonna need to be able to like heal herself, cure herself. Some of these pretty basic things. Electricity, might want that. Sturdy clothing on top of a tailoring bench. Tailoring. Like, really, you can have one and not the other, like one above the other. We'll do that. Do all of this queuing up again, just so I can swap in a different tailoring bench. Electricity, sure. Metal refinement, yes. I don't know. What else did we have? The flamethrower? Let's add that back. Oh, we're gonna need a biofuel reactor if we want to have like a flamethrower. So maybe we start with that and then flamethrower. Yeah, that's quite the research queue we've got going on here. And we have a Gulch attack on the way. 3 of them located way up on this hill. Goodness gracious, they're coming all the way for us from way up here. That'll take some time. No wonder it's gonna be a 12-hour wait for them to attack. Let's see. Styx says I use advanced priority 1 to 9. I think I have, oh, I don't know if I have advanced priority. I just have, but I do have priority set. It's like, I'm not in simple. I'm in regular priority mode, but it goes 1 to 5, not 1 to 9. And Mickey says, if you put the benches back to back against the window, you can fit the bed. Oh, that's really smart. Let's try that. That's right. That's right, that's right, that's right. If we flip this... Oh, I have to flip this one first. Okay. And then we'll flip this one so it faces the other way. Where is she? I don't know where she is. What is she doing? Scavenging? Mm-mm. We're gonna prioritize this. New plan! We're gonna work on setting up the house the way we want it. Okay, so let's rotate this one now. Hopefully she can still get back in there. I don't know that actually created space for the bed, though. I must have done something incorrectly here. Huh. Oh, here we are. We're under attack. I'm gonna let her sleep for the time being until they get here. Put it on 2-speed, because that's the fastest we can make the attack go. And she's hangry. Why don't we have her come out here and eat some food? Seriously, why is this not clickable? I'm right-clicking, but nothing's happening. There we go. it's not allowing me to like choose any of the other items except the sweet syrups for whatever reason. I might have too many mods. I might be breaking the game with all the mods I have. Certain things are just not working the way they're meant to be working. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go through and clean out my mod list at some point. Against the window by the door. Okay. Okay, that's good to know. So let's see. I'm gonna move. Come on. Grab the cot. I'm gonna move this, I don't know, here? Just for the time being? I don't know where she's going. Move the bedroll. You don't need to go outside just yet. The baddies will come to you, I promise. Alright, let's try this now. Let's flip this. And we'll have her, Ember, move that. This makes sense now. I see what you're saying. And we're gonna rotate this. Oh, but now she's acting like there's some kind of obstruction. Maybe it's this? We'll just delete the shelf. It's not important. There we go. That is such a good setup. You were so right about that. So now we can actually fit a bed right here, which is great. That's exactly what we want to see. Perfect. Literally, she can just come construct this bed while we wait for the attackers to arrive. And then we can deconstruct this cot, because we just don't need it anymore. Alright, baddies are here. So let's go ahead and put her in. Yeah, she can just shoot from there, from her porch. And I can 3-speed it now. So that's good. It's one of 3 though. They're the other 3. They're the other 2. So here we go. As the day rises. So we have daylight going on here. And she's standing far enough too that when they explode those like toxic fumes, she's still safe. She doesn't have, they're not able to get close enough to her to actually harm her with that. I mean, this one's the closest, we'll see. Yeah, it doesn't look like that spray reached her. So I think another, another really successful defense. Yeah, let's have her deconstruct this bedroll. She can construct her bed. Oh, she's already doing it. Beautiful, love that for her. And then, Ember dear, if you would please handle these traps that all got triggered, and then we're ready for the next one. So that worked out super great. Thank you so much for the suggestion, Mickey, about putting the desks back to back against the window, because that really did work out well. Excellent job playing Jenga there and getting us the space we were looking for in order to put this bed up. I think, too, that should provide us with room. I'm not totally mistaken. I think I might be able to put these back on the wall. Yeah, we'll put these 2 back up and we will set them up so they don't take raw food, they don't take cooked meals. Tools or other items will accept medicines, weapons, apparel, crafting material, electronic components, raw material. Sure. Yeah, sure. We'll do all that. That's fine. Those can go on these shelves. So we've created more space and she's still able to walk through that lane. I do wonder, so we have 23 sticks, 97 logs, which is good. At least we're starting to see ourselves, at least we're starting to have an adequate amount of material to get us through cold weather where she can fuel this up and stay warmer. It's 20 degrees inside though. I kind of wish she would keep this refueled now. Assign owner. It's gonna become your job now, sweetie. you gotta do it. You gotta keep it fueled. Hopefully she will, and hopefully that will help make her room a little bit warmer. Yeah, the temperature is rising. It's 51 degrees inside, 22 outdoors. So yeah, the cold outside is getting to the point where it's unbearable for her. But now that she's able to stay inside, we can protect her from hypothermia. Let's see. What do we got going on here? 19 votes on the poll. It looks like 37% of viewers have played the Stranded Alien Dawn Solo Survivor Challenge, with 63% saying that they have not. That's a pretty good ratio, though. That's like 1/3 of players have played the Survivor ratio. So 1/3 of you are already like way ahead of me. I'm just now getting to this challenge. But I'm really happy so far with how it's going. I think my strategy is working. It may not be the most efficient, but it seems efficient enough for the time being. I think we're going to survive winter fine. We do have a surplus of food. We've got 500 pickled vegetables, plenty of bush fruit, some sweet syrups, and extra buttermelons. Yeah, and 100 excess. So I don't think we've like brought in 100 eggs, like put them on the shelves, but access to 100 eggs from the nesting Cujos nearby. So we seem able to provide for ourselves in this trying time. I really want, so it's 29 degrees outside, inside it's 34. The fire is not lit. This is going to be an ongoing problem that is starting to drive me a little bit crazy. I wish she would make that like her #1 job, like keep the fires lit. Where is this? Like load? Is that a thing? Burning, loading pod, unloading pod, unequipping, equipping maybe? I don't know. Loading smelters, fermenters. This is what we need. We need this to be like #1. This doesn't matter. There's nobody to rescue. Alright, maybe now that I've finally like understood that manipulation is what we're looking for here, maybe she'll finally keep everything loaded. That should be her #1 task, at least through the course of winter. So fingers crossed she'll do that. She is currently cutting wood, which I don't want to stop her from doing. It's 31 degrees outside. She can get down to 22, and she's heading back to scavenge. I almost want to like just turn scavenging off right now. I don't think we need that. Or at the very least, I'm going to turn it off for locations that are further from base, from whatever you call this. She's out here scavenging these. Oh, she's making a snowman. That's fun. We're gonna turn that off too. I'm literally only gonna leave these 2 lit up for scavenging, and then hopefully by the time that she's done with those, there'll be nothing left to scavenge before it gets like unbearably cold. Too cold for her to be running outside during the day. Has it always been a mystery when a stranger approaches? I feel like we used to see who it was before we chose yes or no. Sometimes they let you know, but for some reason during this gameplay, most of the notifications have not revealed that information. I do think I need to clean out my mods to see like what's affecting what, in order for me to really understand why some things are working and some things aren't. But I think that might be like a consequence of some of the mods that I have turned on, that it might be throwing those at me like every other day, but then not telling us who the stranger is. Like the stranger approaches right now, like this exactly. We keep seeing this like repeatedly. It just keeps popping up at like the same interval, but it's not revealing who. Yes, Pokelate, she was building snowman. With like the little bit of the teensy weensy tiniest little bit of frost that there is on the ground, she's building a snowman out of. The solo is the second least done achievement, says Styx, 1.4%. Iron Survivor 1.3. Peace is third with 1.4 also. I did not know that. It's kind of even more impressive then that 1/3 of viewers have done the solo Survivor Challenge, considering those statistics. How overall, the overall player base seems to have a much lower completion rate than the survival challenge. Of course, mine that I'm doing right now won't even count until I complete it, right? Like I have to get them rescued off the planet before it counts, before I get the achievement, if I'm not mistaken. That's how that works. You guys could correct me. It's my first time doing it. I could be wrong. So just doing the challenge, I don't know that that counts unless you win the challenge, unless you complete the challenge. So I think I might need her to survive. I'm gonna go ahead and lock this door. Yeah, so she doesn't have the ability to go outside while it's this cold out. It's too cold for her, so I'm not gonna let her outside. She's gonna have to stay in and do inside things. That's the beauty of the locking door mechanism. I'm so glad they implemented that, because before I used to have to delete the door, like completely take it off the wall, or move it to an interior wall in the temporarily, in order to prevent them from going outside and freezing to death. So I love the lock door option. So much more accommodating. Production, we have a new means of production, the tailoring bench. That is fantastic. I love to see it. I don't know where I'm going to put it though. This might be something that I need to set up outside for us. And I think I'll do it, yeah, right here. We're going to build this outside at some point. Not right now. It's too cold outside, but at some point we'll get out there. We'll build ourselves a tailoring bench. I might swap the tailoring bench with a crafting bench too, since that might be something that we want to do indoors instead of outdoors. I have only 3 achievements, says Lee Kramer, to go. Herd Master and the 2 secret achievements, whatever those are. That's impressive. I would have to maybe next time we stream, I will start with like on Steam instead of with the game open, and then we can see how much of completion, how many like achievement completions I've actually done in my Steam account. Select global achievements to see. Yeah, I'll have to do that. Can you do that from inside the game, or is that only on Steam? Is that something I could like look at inside the game? I'm not sure. Okay, maybe I have to unlock the door for her. She looks like she's losing it. It is 5 degrees outside though. She really should not be outside. I don't know what she's doing, but she should not be outside. She's too well rested. Oh, we did finish building the train. I don't know how that slipped my waiting to activate. All right, and we have another Juno attack pending. So I guess like handle the door, ma'am. If you really want to go outside, you can. It's freezing outside, but sure, you know, do you. If that's what you want to do, you're gonna freeze. But who am I to tell you no? Okay, at least you didn't have to go too far to build this. Once she builds it, I am gonna swap them. Because I do think I'm gonna stick that on the back wall. I do think that like I need her to be tailoring inside so that we can get her a jacket before she keeps going outside for stuff. Like, just that's what I think. I think if we can get her to do tailoring inside, she'll be much safer and better off. So let's do. Well, first of all, let's start with a hat. We don't have one. We could do one, a warm beanie. Okay. And we'll have her start with that. Insufficient skill level? Oh no! What can she make? Can she sew a jacket? A coat? A sturdy coat? How much material do we have? Not a lot. Okay, well... insufficient skill for that too. I think what we're gonna need her to do is to make these stupid little straw hats. Which I don't think we even have hay for. We probably do not have the resources, we don't. In order to get her skill level up, we gotta make these dumb little hats. And we don't have hay, so that's just gonna have to wait, I guess. So, bummer, there was no point in bringing this inside because she can't use it yet. Yeah, she's moving it. So we're gonna move the crafting table back inside, at least that she can use in the meantime. Aggressive animal hasn't attacked yet. Where's it located? Out here, and where was Ember? This way, okay. At least she's not going too far away from where she needs to be. And she is handling the fireplace good. We at least want to keep this nice and hot. She's going to chop down some trees. And we're going to wait for the attack to come in. And keep an eye on... It's like really nice and warm inside. It's 78 degrees, but out here it's like 35. It is a struggle. And now we have insufficient storage for the, like, sticks that we're chopping. I think we need another one of these. So I'm gonna just bring that out one more square. I don't know where she's going. Scavenging, we're not doing that right now. Like, there's like a Juno attack right now. We're not going scavenging. It's not the time. It is not the time. It is not the place. Look at her, like, hightail it back. She's on it. All sticks, now that you have a place for them. Okay, now we're gonna just draft her and put her up here. And just wait and keep an eye on the temperature outside. It's 31 degrees right now outside for her. And I'm sure the temperature will keep dropping as the daylight fades. Alright, so I've bumped it to 3 speed. The animal attack is here. And it looks like it's already injured at half-life. So this should not be a hard kill, to be honest. This should be a pretty easy kill. Oh my gosh. And she's just waiting for it. She knows what she's about. I tried doing solo with Connor, says Styx, on Sabrius at my first attempt, but he died of his condition after 2.5 years. Yeah, that's a risk with Connor, because he's like a ticking time bomb. His health... Did you see how fast that thing just charged? I mean, it's like... It was hanging on by a thread, but it still tried. It still tried. It went all in. It gave it everything it had. Risk of meltdown. And this thing destroyed one of our fences. We gotta fix that. It's 21 degrees outside right now, though, so I think it's probably better that after she's done with her current task that we just send her to sleep while it's this cold out. Yeah, Connor, that's a risk. Taking a risk with that one. Choosing Connor for your solo run. That would be so frustrating to get 2.5 years into the game and then for him to kaput. That would feel like such a drain. I'm sorry that you had that happen. I am thinking it is 2:32. I started at 9:30, so 9:30. Sorry, 12:33 for me. It's been a 3-hour run. I have another stream later this evening on my, well, not on my art channel, but on another art channel that I'm going to be a guest speaker on. So I actually need to close out for now on this game. I will save and keep you guys posted on how my solo run goes, and maybe like even do another stream to show you progress and hopefully beat the challenge in the future. But in the meantime, I think we're going to wrap it here. If you are interested in seeing my other live stream later today, it's going to be at 5 p.m. EST, or sorry, PST, 7 p.m. EST, if I'm not mistaken. I think it might be 4 p.m. my time, East Coast, West Coast. I'll definitely post the time in the Discord if you're interested, so definitely join the Discord if that's something you're interested in. The topic we are covering is webtoons, so if you are a comic junkie, that might be something you want to hear. So check it out, and I'll see you guys there for those that make it, and if not, I will see you on the next gaming live stream here on this channel. And that's everything for today. Thank you so much for being here, for joining me, for being a part of our gameplay, and I will see you next time.